Okay, we are live. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Saturday Night Gaming with Mark W. and Rob Bob. It is only Mark W. tonight because Rob Bob is playing a game with his friend. He would rather play a game with his friend than with his old man, which is understandable, especially knowing what I'm about to play. Maybe that's why he didn't want to join us. No, I'm actually kind of curious about this silly game that I'm about to play. What it's about. Is it any good, etc., etc. And it is what you see before you. The first, in other words, this is not the only one, Lemmings Gamebook. Now, for anyone who's old like me, you probably remember the game Lemmings. It was mainly a PC game that you played with mouse, but it was also on consoles as well. And it was about these green guys that were called lemmings. They looked basically like human beings, cartoonish human beings with green hair. And there would be like this, each level that you would play was like a puzzle, and there were these hey Eric, how's it going? Welcome. But yeah, just to briefly summarize the game, the computer game, these lemmings would file in from like an entrance that was like a trap door in the ceiling, I think. And there would be like a whole lot of them at each level. That's something like 30 or 50 of them. And you just had to get them to go to the exit. And the way you did that was you transformed them to you transformed individual lemmings, sort of. You gave them a job like to dig or to climb, and otherwise they just walked. They kept walking to the right. If they hit a wall, they would turn back left. They were really dumb, and that was the idea. They were like lemmings, the proverbial lemmings that walk off a cliff. So it's hard to imagine how we could play such a kind of game in adventure game book form, yet here it is. And again, I think there's more than one of these. I believe I've only seen two of them. I don't know if there was more than two. I guess they were not a huge hit. And yet I read a review of this that said it was pretty good, actually. So to some degree, I'm playing it just because it sounds so ridiculous and I like to explore random game books, but also it might actually be good. But yeah, Lemmings, wow. So let's go over a little bit of details about the publisher and author and such before we jump into it. Well, it's called the Genesis Quest, and it is by Nigel Gross and John Sutherland, published by, I believe that's Puffin, right? Oh, it says somewhere here, Puffin Books. Let's check the back. I got this on eBay recently, so obviously this is not a newly published book, so I had to buy it used. So we got these lovely stains on the back. That's fine. In the beginning, the world of the lemmings is drifting into chaos. An ancient medallion lost, that's the quest, I guess, then found in Lemmings, the tribes has now gone missing again. I'm trying to understand what that means. Is that referring to a video game? I know there was like a tribes video game. Like it was supposed to be the 12 tribes of lemmings or something like that. A reference to the 12 tribes of Israel. But I don't know if this is referring to a specific game book with the same name. I guess it's referring to the video game because this is number 1 in the game book series. Anyway, so from the video game, which I didn't play actually, I only really played the original Lemmings, and also like a Christmas one, which was like just a few bonus levels on the original with the lemmings wearing Santa hats and stuff like that. Anyway, the lemmings artifact has been broken up and sent to different parts of their kingdom. They desperately need to retrieve this precious object, and you have been asked to help. Who am I? The leader of the lemmings? The lemmings leader? Are you ready to accept this challenge? To join the lemmings on this fateful quest, an incredible cliff-hanging adventure awaits those. Cliff, get it? Cliffs, lemmings, walking up. Cliff-hanging adventure awaits those brave enough to accept. Cover and illustration supplied by Selecciones Ilustradas. Okay, let's crack her open. So by the way, I did usually when I do game books with character sheets and stuff, I like to have an overhead cam, but I just didn't feel like setting that up. It's a bit much. But there is a die to be used. I kind of glanced over the instruction, and it does say you should have 1 die ready, or as they say, 1 dice. And also there is a character sheet, and I just whipped it up. You just keep track of a few different things. You keep track of this, just a few different things. The party, which is the number of lemmings and what roles they're assigned, I guess, which jobs, like a digger or whatever. There's a lot of different options. I feel like there's almost an overwhelming amount. Things collected. I guess you find objects along the way. Medallion. So you're trying to find 8 pieces of medallion. I guess you would just color them in or cross them off as you go. I just drew a little pizza. And then random notes you can write down there. Yeah, why don't we get into the intro to the book? By the way, if anyone out there in the world has played this, by any chance, let me know. As you can see here, it says by the same authors, Lemmings Adventure Gamebook 2, The Hypnosis Enigma. So yeah, there was 2 of these apparently. This was published in 1995. Lemmings copyright, Signosis Limited, 1995. All right, so let's put this up on the old book stand and get right into it with all its Lemmingsy silliness. Now, I'm hoping Mr. Ryan joins because I know he was anxiously awaiting the Lemmings stream because he's crazy like that. Trying to think, does this look nice and clear? Let me know what you think, Eric or anybody else. I think it's probably good. Yeah, let's go with that. It looks good to me. All right, so this is the intro. The world according to the Lemmings. The Lemmings, as perhaps you already know, live on the island. That's the name of it, apparently, the island. This is a special place. Excuse me. And one for which the Lemmings, although they don't know it, are perfectly suited. The island is a place full of puzzles and traps to catch an unwary lemming, and the Lemmings love it. They love dying en masse. At least they would if they ever stopped to think about it. You see, that involves the 2 things that the Lemmings never really did. Stopping and thinking. Yeah, again, going back to the computer game, they just walk and they'll walk in, walk off a cliff, walk into a fiery trap, whatever. They never stop. Lemmings like to move, they like to dance, they like to jump, they like to dig. In fact, they like to do most things and do those things in lots of different ways. Over the years, the Lemmings have formed into 12 different tribes, each doing lots of things in their own way. There are the medieval Lemmings who just love to party in old-fashioned clothes. Then there's the classical Lemmings. They're very traditional and love digging. Just like classical musicians love digging, I don't know. Hey, Eric, hey, Ryan, how's it going? We're playing the game, the long-awaited Lemmings Gamebook that I know you personally have been waiting for so long. Let's see what it's like. Anyway, the Highland Lemmings like music, and Shadow Lemmings like the dark. So many opportunities to bump into things. That's funny. Okay. They all live together on the island, but keep to their own parts. No one can say how long this has been going on, as Lemmings don't worry very much about time. Well, not unless it involves getting stuck into something, or getting out of something, or digging through something, or falling over something. Anyway, all of this is what Lemmings do, and usually that's about it. Unfortunately, every once in a while, the Lemmings get an urge. It starts off just as a vague feeling. Then it grows and grows till they just can't resist it. They simply must do it. But what? Well, it's like this. Lemmings don't take much interest in history and such like. But deep in every Lemming's memory, and such like... Anyway, sorry. Is a picture of when all the Lemmings lived together and were, well, more or less the same. Now... Again, there's an old legend that says, well, it goes a bit like this. Old days a medal, we all got a bit. Now we got to bring it together. Huh? Not a lot of it really is there. Not a lot of it really is there. But then again, what would you expect from Lemmings? Okay. Translated into English, this means that each tribe of Lemmings must find its piece of the great medallion so that it can be put back together again. But wait, I thought there were 12 tribes and I'm only supposed to get 8 pieces of medallion. And Ryan said, I told my wife Mark's doing the long-awaited Lemmings Gamebook stream. Yeah, this has been a long time in the waiting, just like the Sonic stream was before. I'm glad the simple early computer game Lemmings has a deep lore, says Ryan. Yeah, apparently there's the Lemmings of Tribes, which I had never played. We have the 12 different tribes of lemmings. I had heard of that before. There's not much in the legend about what happens if the lemmings fail, but it's probably pretty bad. Now, all of this may sound okay, but getting all the parts of the medallion is not as easy as it sounds after all. Lemmings are prone to the odd accident or two. By themselves, the lemmings are going to find this a little tricky. A plan needs to be thought out, not a strong point of the lemmings. Now this is where you come in. Oh, I have to be their brains. I mean, I would rather just walk around and jump and things, but I have to act as their brain. Now this is where you come in. The lemmings are ready and willing, and all they need is a bit of direction and perhaps a little luck. And the great lemming quest is go! Ninja lemming, look at that. I'm terrified that it's going to be complicated because I just saw the different kinds of lemmings you can get. There's so many. And you have to like, keep track of how many of each type you get and stuff like that. So that was apparently the pre-introduction. Now we're on the proper introduction. This is a game book. You may have read lots of them before, but just in case you haven't, we thought we'd better tell you. You don't read this book like you would a normal book. Yeah, they always say this in every game book, starting at the first page and ending with the last. In the Genesis quest, you decide how the lemmings will find all the separate parts of the Great Medallion. The lemmings are good at lots of things, but thinking isn't one of them. Yeah, you and me both. You're going to have to do that for them. If you make the right choices, then the lemmings will succeed. If you make the wrong choices, well, haha, you'll soon find out. I know how it is in the video game. They all die a horrible death. And oftentimes you make them all explode and they're like, and all the pixels fly everywhere. In the Genesis quest, you will guide the lemmings through many tricks, traps, and puzzles. This book is divided into 400 paragraphs, each with a number. The first one is 1 and the last one is 400. Go figure. But you don't read through them in the number order. Instead, each paragraph ends with a number of choices. By the side of each of these choices, a number is printed in bold type. Once you have decided what you want the lemmings to do, find the paragraph with that number, then continue reading. Keep on doing this until you have either finished the adventure or failed along the way. Unlike a lot of game books, hello, Mr. Minor Lemming. Unlike a lot of game books, there isn't a lot of fighting in this one. Lemmings can fight if they really have to, but violence doesn't really appeal to them, I guess. If the lemmings do get into a sticky position, then you'll be told how to fight in the main text. To start off playing the Genesis quest, all you need is a pencil, a piece of scrap paper, and a normal 6-sided dice. Die. I'd like to say die singular. I don't know why. Sometimes, I've looked at this. I've seen so many games where they say 1 dice. And I look it up in the dictionary and everything, and they all agree with me. It's 1 die and multiple dice. I think it might be a British thing, actually, that they say 1 dice. And Ryan says, why do they always give that warning? What kind of effing moron would read an adventure book or a CYOA book and not get what's going on? Well, I don't know. I guess they just have some small concern that there might be a disappointed customer because they didn't understand. I actually saw in the Dracula game book, not quite that, but somebody thought it was a novel based on Dracula. And so they wrote a negative complaint on Amazon. I mean, it says game book on the cover. Not everybody knows what a game book is even, but I don't know. You would think it's not. You would think it would indicate something that is not a typical like novel if it says game book on the cover. Anyway, in this book, you get to control 8 tribes of lemmings. Each tribe has its own abilities, special abilities, and its own special problems. You decide in which order to play the zones. If you get stuck in one zone, you can leave and go to another. But be warned, you will have to finish all 8 zones to complete the quest. Okay, so we get to pick which zones we want. I don't know how I will determine that, just at random, or is there some kind of a clue about the benefit of one zone versus the other, or the challenge posed by one zone? To start off with, you get 50 lemmings, so now I'm going to have to keep track of all these lemmings on the character sheet I showed you a moment ago. This is where I'm getting a little nervous. It's like I'm gonna have to like keep track of this whole army of guys I have. Hey Rob, how's it going? Rob says Andrew Dice Clay, not Andrew Die Clay, for what it's worth. Okay, so 50 may sound like a lot. You're going to have to be very careful with them because there's a lot of dangers along the way. At the end of each zone, you will be given 5 more lemmings to play with as a reward. Okay, so ideally I wouldn't lose more than 5 to break even. We'll see how that goes though. The type of lemmings you can have depends on the zone you're in. The book will tell you when you need to make this choice and also what types you can have. Because there are so many different types, here is a list that may help you make the right choices later on. And yeah, so when I flipped through this a moment ago, I saw this and I was like, oh my God. Like, I guess they did say the text will tell you what kinds you can get, because I feel like if it had said you have 50 lemmings, decide which role each of them are now from this list, I would be like, I don't know. There's so many. I could probably pick like one of each. Like each column is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's like more than it's about, I think, 47 possible roles for each. That's crazy. It's a lot more than in the original video game. That's for sure. Most of the names are self-explanatory, like Fencer, Laser Blaster, Basher, Club Bagger. Super Lem is not really self-explanatory. I guess they fly. Skater, Attractor, Climber, Thrower, Bazooka, blah, blah, blah. Skier, Musician. I don't know what musician does. I know they're playing an instrument, but how does that impact the physics of the game? All right. Now it's time to go to 1, where you can decide which zone you'd like to play first. All right, here we go. We're getting right into it. Now, I had never heard of a Lemmings game book back in the day. I liked playing Lemmings and I liked playing game books. I had simply never heard of this. I'm not sure where I would have, but more recently, like in the last year or so, just with the internet, I like to browse for weird and obscure things, and I also like to browse for weird and obscure game books. So I heard of this one, and yeah, I just had to buy it on eBay. All right, so here we have a nice image of some lemmings smashing. It looks like a rock wall or a cliff or something. And some of them are on their bottoms. They had fallen, perhaps. All right, well, this is where it all starts. The next stop is paragraph 20. Why didn't I just go to 20? You'll visit that paragraph quite a few times as you read through the book. Don't worry, it's supposed to be like that. Now go to 20. Okay. When I do a game book in a pre-recorded form, I get to edit out all the page flipping and stuff. But since we're live, you got to deal with it. You cannot edit real time, unfortunately. This is the place where you make those choices that really count. Oh, I'm nervous. If this is the first time you have read this section, then you may choose from any one of the following 8 zones. As you progress through, you will hopefully complete some of them. Once you have beaten a zone, be sure to make a note of the fact. If you have successfully completed a zone, you may add 5 lemmings to your party strength. From here you may, here we go, folks. Oh my goodness. Play the medieval. Now, you in the chat, chime in which ones you think I should go to, or which one I should go to. Otherwise, I'm just going to pick randomly. From here, you may play the medieval zone. Go to 336. Play the shadow zone, 22. Circus zone, 376. Space zone, 395. Sports zone, 173. Classic zone, 320. Polar zone, 118. And lastly, the beach zone, 43. If you have successfully completed all 8 zones without cheating, then please go to 15. Well, if you're cheating in the first place, are you really going to pay attention to the clause in that sentence that says without cheating? I think you would ignore it. All right, so we have a vote from Ryan for the classic zone and a vote from Eric for the space zone. And Ryan also says the bone zone 69. I'm being the the anchor man, reading things I shouldn't. All right, let's go to the I'll go to the space zone as Eric suggested. Space zone, that's 395. Could this be the space zone right here? Page flipping is fun. Do, 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 do. Welcome to the Space Zone. This is the home of the Space Lemmings, those bold explorers of the lemming final frontier. These lemmings like nothing more than floating around, dodging the asteroids and exposing themselves to gamma rays and all manner of dangerous things. This is the start of the Space Zone. Before you go any further, you must select the lemmings that will go on this part of the quest. How many you can have depends on the number of lemmings you finish the last zone with. I didn't finish the last zone, but I guess I have 50, it said. Simply trade in the lemmings you already have for the new ones listed below on a one-for-one basis. If this is the first zone you have visited, then you may choose 50 lemmings. The kinds of lemmings available in the Space Zone are a tractor. I feel like I'm getting into the complicated stuff. Maybe I shouldn't have chosen space. That's fine. Let's roll with it. A tractor, magno boot, jetpack, floater, mortar, roper, laser blaster, super lem, and lastly, platformer. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't know what all these actually mean. Now, I know floater in the original Lemmings, they can survive a fall from a height because they open up their umbrella and they kind of float to the ground. Jetpack, I guess, means they can fly around. I don't know specifically how that would differ from, say, Super Lem, who I assume flies like Superman. Maybe has super strength and stuff too. A tractor must make I don't know, objects come to him like a magnet. There's also magno boots, which I guess they're magnetic boots. Oh, he can stick to metal things. I don't know. Mortar. They shoot mortar, or is it like bricklaying mortar? Roper. I guess they use a rope to climb, or to at least attach a thing to another thing. Laser blaster. They shoot guys, or shoot walls. Super limb. We kind of speculated about platform. I don't know what that means at all. It means someone who builds a platform, or otherwise means someone who runs across a platform like Mario or something. I don't know. All right, I guess the very basic thing I can do is just divvy it up equally. So there's 9 options. That's one way to do it, I suppose. What could I do then? 5 of each, and then have 5 left over, which would be blockers. Says Ryan. We don't have blockers. We don't have that here. I think that was one of the original choices in the master list in the beginning, but in this zone we don't have that. All right, so I don't have my overhead camera. I apologize for that. I usually try to do that, but I'm gonna write something. Yeah, I'm gonna just do that, and then I'm gonna do 5 of each, and then allocate the other 5 in some special way. I don't really know what to do. So let's say a tractor. Well, let's decide how to allocate the extra 5. What sounds the most useful? I feel like floater doesn't sound useful in space because there's no gravity. Why do they need to float to safety? I don't know. That could be kind of a red herring option. Nonetheless, I'm going to go with 5 of each and then allocate the extra 5. Let's say 1 each of jetpack, super limb, roper, mortar, laser blaster. I'll go with that. I probably won't remember everything I just said. Tractor 5, magno boot 5, jetpack 6, floater 5. I hope I did the math right here. Mortar, so I would get an extra 1 of mortar. That's 6. Roper 6. Laser blaster 6. Super limb. What did I say I was getting? It doesn't matter that much. 6. And platformer 5. All right, so let's just add it up really quickly. 10, 20, and then the rest would be 31, 2, 3. Yep. Okay, so I have exactly 50 lemmings. And now it says go to 297. I don't really understand how this is gonna work. It seems like it would be extremely I don't know, difficult to make this work mechanically in a game book form, but I guess we'll see how it works. What does it say? You know, you see a pit in front of you. What do? Make one of your lemmings a climber or a floater? Let them all march to their doom. Like, what are my options here? Well, we'll find out in a moment. Okay, 297 it said. So here we are. And Ryan says, whenever I hear Super Lem, I think of Lemmy from Motorhead. Captain James T. Lemming is so bad. Is in charge of the Space Lemmings party. James knows that the medallion is hidden in an old, deserted space station. Getting there is no easy task. Let's face it, is anything ever easy when there are lemmings involved? All right, so we're trying to get to an old, deserted space station from somewhere. The first thing the lemmings need to do is hitch a ride on a comet. The comet is due to pass close by very soon. Okay. Turn the page. Here I go. Turn the page. How will the lemmings reach it? Will they use a platformer, which I don't even know what it is exactly, or a roper? Maybe platformer means like you create a platform and that's supposed to bridge the whatever I'm in, I guess a ship to the space. Was it space station they said? Let's try that, I guess. I do have 6 ropers. Yeah, let's try a roper. I don't know. And Ryan says Captain James T. Lemming. Uh-oh, where's Stu? Yeah, Stu's a big Star Trek nerd. 354. What if I had neither of those? What would my option be? There was no option for it, something else. That's right. I'm trying to tether to a comet or something. This is not going to be easy. The comet will be moving very fast and will not be an easy target. Go to 3. Okay. Here we are on 3. Very first page again. Roll 1 die and add the result to the number of ropers in the party. Interesting. If this gives a total of 9 or more, which would mean I need a 3 or up because I have 6 ropers, then go to 180. If it's 8 or less, go to 216. All right, let's hope my choice of an extra roper pays off here. Here is my die. And yeah, again, we need 3 or higher. Cool, I made it. Go to 180. Just barely made it. So if I had chosen 1 fewer roper, I would have failed the roll. $180. The lemmings wait, poised, as the comet approaches. The ropers aim and then fire. Success! The remaining lemmings grab hold of the ropes and drag themselves onto the speeding comet. And believe it or not, they all make it aboard. I'm surprised like a couple of them don't like randomly die. Should really be using a bright green die. Yeah, you know what? Remember we were talking about the slime looking dice? Well, I added those to my to my wish list. Maybe I'll get them for Christmas. But I don't have any bright green dice at this time. Go to 19. I'm the weirdo who puts dice on his Amazon wish list for family members to get. They're like, why does this strange man want dice? All right, so bear with me as I tighten this arm. It always comes loose on this book stand. Okay, that's a little better. All right, 19. The comet speeds through the space zone. This is the way to travel. Or is it? Go to 53. Way to travel. Uh-oh. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. The comet with the lemmings aboard is heading straight for an asteroid field. Oops, what now? Should they jump off, go to 144, or stay put and hope? Go to 28. Well, C-3PO could tell me my odds of navigating the asteroid field. What do you guys think? Should we jump off as we approach the asteroid field, or should we stay put and hope? I don't feel like just staying put and hoping is a very good plan. But then again, jumping off with no like specific plan doesn't sound great either. Like it doesn't say I'm gonna try to use a fill in the blank here. It's just jump off, or tethered to this comet hurtling through space. We're just gonna jump off. And Ryan says jump off sounds really bad. Eric says, yeah, good point. I guess I'll stay on. I don't know. Actually, think about it with space. I would, I wouldn't fall off. I'm in space. I would keep going the direction the comet was going, right? Except I wouldn't be tethered to anything. It's not like I mean, I guess I could, no, I was gonna say maybe I could push off it, but not really. Like, I don't think that's feasible. Hey, Zach, how's it going? Zach says Van Halen says jump. Well, Van Halen is not here, is he? Eddie Van Halen passed away a couple of years ago. So sorry, Eddie Van Halen. I'm not gonna jump. I'm gonna stay on. I don't know. They both sound like terrible options, quite honestly. Let me move my stand back a little more. I was kind of like having to reach far across the table. Yeah, so might as well jump, says Zach, but I say no. I'm going to stay put and hope. All right, we get a Lemmings proverb here. Yeah, howdy, Zach. I think you should come to my game day in a week, by the way. It'll make you feel better about your sick cat. If in doubt, just move around aimlessly, goes the old lemming proverb. And that's just what the space lemmings do. Go to 204. Oh, goodness. It's gonna say like 20 lemmings just splatter into the asteroid. And it's kind of fun that given... I haven't actually seen that it works this way yet, but given that you have so many lemmings, the game could just freely say, well, yeah, 10 of them just died now. Sorry. It wouldn't like be a game breaker, but it would be like the real game where you're kind of losing a lot of lemmings all over the place. Anyway, I'm just speculating it might be like that. I haven't seen any deaths yet. Now the lemmings are really in trouble. The comet is heading... It's down here, by the way. Heading straight for a huge asteroid. The lemmings may still be in doubt. You'd better not be. You'd better not be, I guess. Tell the lemmings what to do and be quick about it, okay? Did you play this game? Who in the chat has played the original Lemmings, by the way? I feel like it was extremely popular for a short while, but it didn't really have staying power. Like, you talk to someone 30 or under, they'd probably be like, "What? What's Lemmings?" Maybe even 35 or under. Not like Mario or Sonic, which had huge staying power. And Eric says I played the PC Lemmings and the Christmas version. Yeah, me too. That's pretty much all I played. I haven't played the Tribes. Anyway, if I wanted to use a laser blaster, that seems good. Yeah, laser blaster, go to 244. Or if you think a super lem would be any of you, go to 298. I have 6 of each of those, so I'm kind of a little bit strong in both laser blasting and super lemmingness. I kind of like the idea of laser blasting. Let's blast them out of the way. I'll give you guys a moment to chime in if you agree or disagree. But yeah, I think I will go with the laser blast. All right, I'm going to do it. 244. That's it. Blast the asteroid out of the way. Not exactly subtle, but with a bit of luck, effective. Let's see, shall we? Go to 177. Look what happened down here. This isn't me, but the lemming goes tumbling into a crevasse. Yeah, they're probably dying left and right. So far, I've had luck. But I know it's going to run out eventually. This must be the scene that we got here. They're blasting them asteroids. Okay, 177. The laser blasters. Take aim at the asteroid and fire. Roll 1 die and add the result to the number of laser blasters in the party. It's kind of like the same thing as before, except I need 8 or more instead of 9 or more. So that means since I have 6 laser blasters, I only need a 2 or higher. So anything but a 1, and the laser blasters are successful in their asteroid blasting efforts. Let's take the die. Let's see what the die dictates. All right, that's a 3. So if you go by the book, you add 6, and that is a 9, and therefore an 8 or higher. 338. Good job, laser blasters. I have a feeling, though, because this is the first zone that I've chosen, I'm going to have more lemmings than if this were like, the 5th one where, in other words, it's probably easier because it's my first zone. I haven't taken so many casualties yet. But I gotta, try not to, I actually could come out on top because you get 5 lemmings after each zone. If I lose just, no lemmings or 2 or 3, then I'll come out on top at the end. But I'm not going to be that cocky and say that that's actually going to happen. And Ryan says, I like the art. Cool. The laser blasters are good shots. The asteroid disintegrates into thousands of tiny pieces. And the Lemmings comet sails through safely. Woo! Well done. Go to 329. Something about a human cannonball or lemming cannonball in this paragraph. 329. The lemmings are coming. The lemmings are coming. Once again, I'm pushing my stand a little too far down. So now I keep doing that. All right. 329. The comet is through the asteroid field now, and the lemmings are safe again, at least for the time being. The comet is now heading towards the old spaceship. Go to 379. All right. We're getting to our destination. Does the book seem, Ryan said, does the book seem used, or do you think you're the first to really use it? It seems used, not like heavily used. Probably somebody played it like once. And the back cover they showed really early on in the stream has some like stains on it, so. But yeah, it looks like it's in pretty good condition. Around the edges it's pretty yellow, but that could happen to any book on, on a shelf for a while, I guess. Depending on how the pages are produced, I suppose. So I would say probably somebody bought it and, just played it once or twice and it sat on a shelf. Anyway, we're going to 379. I guess we just have to jump off to the spaceship and then we'll get our piece of the, whatever you call it, talisman, medallion. I've got to fix this stupid thing. If anybody has any good ideas, this screw is so loose that every once in a while, like anytime I do a game book stream, it's like every 20 minutes or half hour, I have to screw it in again. I guess I need to maybe get maybe a very slightly bigger, or what I could do is make a new hole like slightly to the left or right. Yeah, maybe that's the best idea. And just re-screw it that way. Because probably the threads are all mangled. Like there is nothing in there. 379. Yeah, a new hull sounds like a good idea. Okay, the ancient hulk of the spaceship looms up in front of the lemmings. Now we can play Space Hulk. The spaceship will get the lemmings down to the planet's surface where the medallion is hidden. First, though, they've got to find some way to get off the comet and into the spaceship. Interesting problem. Think about it and go to 341. Well, ropers sound like an option again. I also have magno boots. I don't know exactly how that works, though. Jetpack sounds feasible. I don't know. We'll see what option it actually gives me. 341. The lemmings could try and use ropers, yeah. Alternatively, they could send a jetpack across and trigger the spaceship's grappling arm. Huh. All right, yeah. So what will it be? Let me know, guys, in the chat. The roper or the jetpack? I used roper last time, so I'm leaning towards jetpack just to try something different. And if you're concerned about the numbers I have of those, I have 6 of both. So really, it's a jetpack 6, roper 6. So they're kind of equal for the ensuing die roll that I expect to be a thing. And Ryan agrees. Let's try jetpacks. And he also said, I bet Magno Boost can walk upside down on the platform. Yeah, probably something like that. All right, 280. We're gonna jetpack it. The jetpack lemming zooms up into the air, rather gracefully for a lemming, as a matter of fact, and flies over to the spaceship, where the illusion is shattered. Oh, as it hits the side of the ship with a thump. Thump. Stu is here. Hey, Stu. Stu says, seriously, there's a Lemmings game. Yeah, I told you. In the thumbnail, it says, yes, really. This is totally unbalanced. Let me fix that a little bit. I just realized vertically. Here, that's a little better. And Stu says, I'm on a plane, believe it or not. So Stu is on a plane watching me play a Lemmings game book. This is an historic moment in your life, Stu, that you will tell your children about. I don't know. Anyway, so the jetpack lemming crashed into the spaceship. Hey, Gamers Grotto, how's it going? Gamers Grotto is one of the people I usually see on Stu's stream. How's it going, man? And yes, there's a Lemmings game book. yeah. Like Ryan is saying, there was a reference to James T. Lemming. He's the captain or something of the Space Lemmings. All right, battered and bruised go to 202. I'm assuming I just lost one lemming. Maybe more. 202. All right, now that the jetpack lemming has reached the... He did? Okay, I guess that was just flavor text that he had a funny crash landing, like Launchpad McQuack or something, but he didn't really fail per se. He succeeded. Okay, now that the jetpack lemming has reached the spaceship safely, it's easy to activate the ship's emergency grappling hook. This reaches out and grabs the passing comet, and the other lemmings are soon safely aboard. Woohoo! Yeah, so I guess that was just for comedic effect or something. And he actually succeeded. Now that the lemmings have reached the spaceship, I guess there's multiple ways to get there. That's why it's a separate paragraph. It's time to explore. All right, so we got to explore the spaceship and find the piece of our medallion. Go to 394. The spaceship hasn't been used in ages and is in a dreadful state of repair. The lemmings will have to get to the bridge before the spaceship can take them down to the planet. But the way is blocked where a ceiling has collapsed. All right, yeah. So Gamers Grotto said, so it's basically like a choose your own adventure book, but lemmings themed. Yeah, exactly. And this one I have a let me show you a couple of things. A character sheet, sort of. Game book. When we use the word game book, it usually means you have things like a character sheet and you roll dice, almost like an RPG. But yeah, in this particular zone, which I'm in, the space zone, I was able to choose. Don't mind my chickens crash, but I had 50 lemmings and I could assign them roles, like a tractor, magno boost, jetpack, etc. So I so I had 50. I just kind of divided them up about equally because I didn't really know what to pick, and with the remainder I picked some that sounded extra cool, like laser blaster. Also, I can take note of the things I've collected. So far, nothing. And I'm trying to find the 8 medallions for each of the 8 zones. I can choose which zone I want to go in any order. So we decided to enter the space zone first, and that's why we are looking for the medallion on this spaceship. Anyway, yeah, what did it say here? Lemmings have to get to the bridge before the spaceship can take them down to the planet. Okay, so I guess that's where we want to go, the planet. So first the bridge, but the way is blocked where a ceiling is collapsed. So we have to get around the blockage and then get to the bridge and then get to the planet, it sounds like. 359. A tangle of metal girders fills the corridor. Is there a laser blaster in the party? 6 lemmings raise their hand and you say, yo. If there is, go to 380. If there isn't, then go to 326. All right, let's see. Stu said it should be. Oh, let me go back up a little. Stu said, I would probably like the real Lemmings games better if they were more like this. This is very relaxed compared to the game. Yeah, Lemmings, the game is very It's very tense, and you mess up once, and you watch all your people die horribly, all your lemmings die horribly. It should be like, did you take more than 10 seconds to read this? If so, turn to 640. And Gamers Grotto says, interesting. I should send you my Carmen San Diego ones. Hey, if you want me to do them on stream, I would happily receive those. And then Stu says, then on 640, it says, sorry, all of your lemmings jumped off a cliff while you were reading. Yeah, so you have a timer per paragraph. That would certainly up the intensity. Stop too long to read the chat. Turn to 640, exactly. All right, so yeah, we have laser blasters, and we're going to go to 380. The laser blaster cuts through the girders in no time at all. It was definitely a good choice to choose the laser blasters, that's for sure. Now over to 120. So what I'm finding, by the way, you may have noticed I'm just holding the pages now. So many of these paragraphs are brief that I'm like, I feel like I'm just better off holding the book rather than setting it up in the stand. Seems to go faster. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe with a longer paragraph, I'll use the stand again. Now all that mess is out of the way. It's just a short walk along the corridor to the bridge. All right. Are we going to have to fight a captain or something? The bridge itself is almost as tatty as the rest of the ship. There are dozens of odd-looking machines lying around. Go to 224. And Ryan says, Mark's Gamebook streams are the best. Thanks, Ryan. Should I be doing more of these and less video games? I should do more Tunnels and Trolls, actually, because I've always had fun with that. It's like it's basically a traditional RPG, like D&D or something, but they made a ton of what they call solo adventures, which are basically like game books. Like pretty much every other RPG out there focused on the GM adventures or DM adventures, where it was like, you know, your standard D&D style game where there's a referee type telling the story and the players interact. But for some reason, Tunnels and Trolls focused like 90% on game books, and I have like a large collection of those. And actually, when I did one of them called Naked Doom, that's actually my top watched stream, like people watching the archived version of it. Anyway, Gamers Grotto says they seem amazing. I must tune in more. It's unique. Yeah, you're definitely welcome, Gamers Grotto, to join anytime you want. The Lemmings must somehow get the spaceship to take them down to the planet's surface. It comes down to a choice of three things, which is just as well, since we don't think either you or the Lemmings could cope with any more. Okay. It doesn't want to give me too many choices because they can't handle it. What do you think they should do? If you reckon they should press the black button marked ugh, go to 279. If the green lever marked yippee takes your fancy, go to 252. Don't they say that when they escape the level in the video game? Yippee! If you think twisting the red dial marked oops will do any good, go to 21. Wow. The most straightforward things, if it's not like a trap or something, seems to be yippee, because that's when you exit successfully in the video game. When I glanced at another paragraph, they don't say that? I thought they did say yippee. Stu says they don't say it. All right, anyway. When I glanced at another paragraph where someone died, it said the lemming said, ugh, he fell off a cliff and died. So I have a feeling that makes somebody die. And oops doesn't sound good. Wow, you never know. It could all be a, you know, red herring or whatever. And Stu said that's from the Bible game the AVGN reviewed. Ryan said, I remember when Darth Vader said yippee in the best Star Wars movie. What about when a flyboy said whoopee in Dawn of the Dead? I'm going to go with yippee. 252. Whoopee. So it's going to be the green lever, is it? Let's see what happens. Go to 102. I feel a sneeze coming out. I'm going to try not to blow it hard into the microphone. But it's one of those slow burning sneezes deep in your nasal passage, if anyone needs that kind of detail. Without a second, or for that matter, a first thought, Buzz pulls the green lever. A disembodied voice announces, autopilot on. Hey! And the spaceship starts to slowly move down toward the planet. Good guess. Go to 86. Excuse me. Yippee! After a few moments, the old spaceship comes to rest on the surface of the strange planet. which is an odd grayish sort of color. There are craters everywhere, and now and then the surface bubbles and heaves ominously. Uh-oh. Heaving bubbles. A good place for a space lemming to be. Go to 162. Random thought crossed my mind. You know, it's like a cliche that in romance novels they always talk about like some beautiful woman's heaving bosom or something. Has anybody made a just because they said the word heaving? Has anyone made a romance novel game book? That would be funny. Somebody's probably done that. Maybe you can play as Fabio or something. And Stu said it's not really a guess. Yeah. I mean, it was one of those things where like it seems so obvious. I wonder if it's a trap, but I don't know. And Ryan said they feel like this book is light on real choices. Ah, okay. This is not a deep enough game for Ryan. Lemmings game. So far, it's been probably gonna get killed now, but so far it hasn't been hard. It's been quite easy so far. I know I just jinxed myself. Now that they've landed, the lemmings themselves, the lemmings find themselves only a short walk from the disused space station. And just for a change, there are no nasty obstacles in their way. That seems too good to be true. We got a caveman-looking lemming over here. The space station is the usual type of thing. I'm using the stand again. You know, domes and pods. But unfortunately, the medallion is hidden right at the top of the station's radio mast, which, to say the least, is rather tall. Okay, so I'm assuming I can see it. It's kind of weird that it says hidden. If it's hidden, then I... like, why is it telling me where it's in? I guess I'm looking at it. Looks like a mountaineering mission is on the cards. Go to 199. All right, so... yeah, maybe my Magno boots can climb up the radio mast. Radio station mast. Whatever it is. Station's radio mast. And Gamers Grotto also, let's go back a little bit, actually. There was... Stu says... there was an Infocom game, Plundered Hearts. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was like a pirate romance. I read about that in the 50 Years of Textbook. That sounded kind of funny. And Gamers Grotto says, I mean, I've seen interactive DVD romance movies. They exist. Do I have them? No. Nor am I interested in them, but I know they exist. That's funny. And Ryan says, my lady's choosing an interactive romance novel exists. Okay, my lady's choosing. Interesting. I should... and me my next game book, huh? Maybe I should do that. All right, looks like a mountaineering mission is in the cards. Go to 199. Or on the cards, as they say. $199. The radio mast spears up into the sky. There used to be a lift ages ago, but of course it's broken now. How are the lemmings going to get to the top and collect the medallion? Are they going to use a roper, turn to 262, or Magno boots 393? Let me know what you guys think. I have both of those. I have 5 Magno boots and 6 ropers. That could matter because they often tell you to make a die roll. And they say, you know, add the number of that type you have to the die roll. And if you have an 8 or higher, you succeed. Otherwise, you fail. So, you know, it could matter. But I don't know. You know, you never know what it's going to do. Sometimes it just says you succeed. And there's no dice roll necessarily. Ryan says, Magno Boost. Gamers Grotto says, where did you find this book, by the way? It seems like it would be quite rare. eBay. I heard of it just browsing the internet because this is the kind of strange thing I browse for. There's like websites like gamebooks.org that document, you know, it's like a large database of game books. I don't remember specifically how I found this one, but when I heard of it, I think I was chatting with Ryan here about it. He was like, yeah, you got to get that. So I was like, all right, I bought it on eBay, and you know, it wasn't like a highly coveted thing that I had to shell out $50 for. I think I paid like, you know, $10 or whatever. But yeah, it's probably not super common, but not in demand really either. So it's not like you have to compete with collectors over it. And Ryan says, choose your own love story, misadventures in love, lust, and happy endings too. Wow, there's a lot of them apparently. All right, let's go to Magno Boots 393. I flipped just to 393 like magic. The Magno Boots lemming steps up to the mast. I have 5 of them, not just one lemming, which luckily is made of steel, and begins to walk up the side of it. Easy when you know how, isn't it? In no time at all, the Magno Boots is standing at the top. Go to 161. Ryan says there's no way you could get through a sexy Gamebook stream. Ah, challenge accepted. I might not be allowed to have Rob Bob join. For those who don't know, Rob Bob is my teenage son who usually, well, sort of, kind of, sometimes joins me on my Saturday night streams. But tonight he opted to play a game with his friend, which I support. He doesn't have to join his father's silly YouTube channel. If he wants to do something with his friends, I support that. All right, 161. Congratulations, the Lemmings have reached the top of the mast and found their part of the medallion. Woo! So this zone is completed, it looks like. Make a note of this fact and go to 20. So yeah, on the character sheet, they tell you to draw like a pie-shaped thing. So I guess I just check one off, or do I write space in it? I don't know. I'll write space in it just to show that I completed the space zone. And 20 is the page at which we choose the next zone. So that's 1/8 of the stream down, and it only took like close to an hour. So that means I should finish all 8 zones in 8 hours by that logic. No, I did a whole intro and everything, and hopefully it wouldn't take that long. And yet I usually don't actually finish a game book in one stream. I either give up or it becomes a multi-part thing. All right, so here are our choices. I get 5. Well, let's read the whole thing for people who didn't read this paragraph before. This is the place where you make those choices that really count. If this is the first time you've read this section, then you may choose from any one of the following 8 zones. As you progress through, you will hopefully complete some of them. Once you have beaten a zone, be sure to take note of the fact. If you have successfully completed a zone, yes, you may add 5 extra lemmings to your party strength. Woohoo, I got 55. From here you may. Yeah, which one should I choose? The funny thing is it says it's the first time you've read this section, then you may choose one of the following 8 zones. But I mean, I still have to do that even though it's not my first time. So I'm not sure what it's talking about there. Anyway, 55 lemmings now. So I actually did come out on top. I was assuming I was going to be losing them left and right because they give you so many. Like, it could say something like you fly through the asteroid field, but 2 of the lemmings die as you do that. But apparently so far it's not like that. All right, so yeah, let me know what in the chat which one you want me to go to. There's the medieval zone, shadow zone, circus zone, sports zone, classic zone, polar zone, lastly the beach zone. Stu asks, where does the 5 extra lemmings come from? I don't know. I pull them out of my green-haired ass. Yeah, so Ryan suggested classic zone last time, and I went with Eric's choice of space zone. Ryan said sports zone this time, though. Okay. I'll give like 20-ish seconds if anybody has any other ideas or choices. Zach says I should go to auto zone. Get in the zone. Auto zone. Nope. And by the way, at the bottom it says I win after I complete without cheating. And I kind of find that funny because if I'm cheating, I'm not going to obey a rule that says I can't cheat. All right. So Ryan said classic zone now. He changed his mind. Zach, there's no auto zone. Let's just go with classic zone. 320. Now, I'm assuming classic zone means like it's resembling the original game, perhaps? No, they did mention something about classical lemmings in the intro. Let me skim back to that quick. That was like one of the tribes, the classical lemmings. Where did it say that? I don't know, maybe we should just jump to the paragraph. Yeah, let's just jump to the paragraph. 320. Welcome to the classic zone. This is where it all started. And this zone, so it is said, is where the lemmings started off in life. Yeah, so I guess it is going to be like the original game. I mean, as much as they can do so in gamebook form. The classic zone is a weird and wonderful place, full of pillars and metal floors, odd little holes and bubbling lakes. Oh yeah, this is the game. It was here that the lemmings first acquired their taste for danger and learnt how to do whatever they do. This is the start of the classic zone. Before you go any further, you must select the lemmings that will go on this part of the quest. How many you can have, depends on the number of lemmings you finish the last zone with. Simply trade in the lemmings you already have for the new ones listed below on a one-for-one basis. If this is the first zone you visited, then you may have 50 lemmings. All right, so basically our choices are, again, we have 9 options. I think we had 9 last time too, yeah. Ballooner, Stomper, Basher, Filler, Miner, Exploder, Blocker, Builder, and Climber. And hey, Arturo is here. Arturo says Exploder. Yeah, that sounds like Arturo. Arturo likes violent things and killing people and things like that. And Dice Tales, welcome. Dice Tales says, where do the extra lemmings come from? Well, when a daddy Fleming really loves mommy lemming. Okay, welcome Dice Tales. Dice Tales, woo. All right, so yeah, we have 55 to allocate. I might do the same strategy where I just kind of divide them up and then throw in the remainders as I see fit. But let me erase on my character sheet, and you can get to watch me do that because why not? And I apologize again. I didn't bother to set up my overhead camera this time. I just didn't do it. No excuses. Normally, I like to have a second camera overhead for the character sheet when I do a gamebook stream. That way, I don't have to move around the first camera. And there's a lot to erase here. Maybe I should just cross them out next time. All right. So I'll get an extra exploder because that's Arturo's idea. Where are you headed to, Stu, if you don't mind my asking? If you'd rather keep that private, that's understandable. Perhaps a Thanksgiving related trip. Okay, you got a beautiful view of me erasing there. I'm sure that was exciting. All right, yeah, so again, these are the choices. Ballooner, Stomper, Basher, Filler, Miner, Exploder, Blocker, Builder, Climber. If you in the chat prefer any of those, I will put some of the remainders into that. Arturo already shouted out Exploder, so let's do that. So anyway, the math is telling me that since we have 55 and there are 9, then we can start. We can do 6, right? We can do 6 each, and then yeah, we can do 6 each with a remainder of 1. Okay, you get the remainder exploder. So 7 exploders and 6 of everything else. Ballooner 6, Stomper 6, Basher 6, Filler. I assume they fill holes or something. Master Exploder. All right, because Arturo likes exploding things, we're gonna put the remainder into Exploder. Blocker 6, Builder 6, Climber 6. All right, that's a lot of lemmings. And Ryan says, oddly enough, those the adventure books also have exploders. Oh god, I gotta try one of those to see how long I can take it for before I'm like, I gotta stop. All right, go to 292. So we're in the classic Lemmings world. That's a violent place. That's probably a lot more dangerous than the Space Zone. The head lemming of the classic zone, Plato Lemminus, leads the party to the edge of the trap door. The giant door swings open and it's time to go. Yippee! Go to 300. Did they say yippee when they entered the level? Now I have to fire up the original Lemmings and check. The Lemmings drop in a neat row onto the platform below. When the last has landed, and very elegantly this was too, none of your landing None of your landing on another lemming's head with a squelch. It's make up your mind. Make your mind up time. Here's a ninja lemming for no reason. Will the lemmings go left towards a pool of water? Go to 346. Or will they go right towards some stairs? Go to 203. Decision is decision. So what do I have that can deal with water though? I guess perhaps a filler could fill it in. Fill in a pool, maybe. I don't know about that. It seems like a stretch. Ballooner could probably float over it. Stomper, basher, filler, miner. Floater, blocker, builder could build stairs over. Builders are the ones who build stairs in the original Lemmings, if I remember correctly. I'm kind of, I don't know. What do you guys think? Stairs or water? Stairs seems straightforward. A little too straightforward. I have 11 concurrent viewers. That's a ton for me. Thank you guys for joining. And Ryan says the stairs, man. The stairs. All right. Stupid inside joke from a long time ago where I was at a BBS meet where you meet people from an electronic BBS meet. And one guy was just acting very corny, like over the top ridiculous and acting like a moron. And then someone out there said, "What is wrong with you?" And he said, "The stairs, man. The stairs. I just fell off of them when I was a baby." Had to be there, I guess. Anyway, I'll take the stairs, man. As soon as I said, "Hey, look, I have 11 viewers," I went down to 8. All right, I'm going to 203. No, I think that was before your time, Zach. It was a guy. It was at a joint PBD team meet. This guy named he called himself Power Play, and he liked to act like an idiot. He thought he was cool or something. But yeah, you used to act like an idiot too, Zach. Don't worry. Zach used to be in our BBS circle, and he was the young one. We were mostly like teenagers, and he was like, most of the crew in our BBS scene was like 16 to 20 or so like that. And Zach here was like 11, and he used to try to. I don't know. This wouldn't be a good story. You'd have to be there. He would just kind of try to act funny and call people assholes and stuff, but he would spell it wrong. He would write ashole, ashole. All right. And Zach says, "Oh, because I fell downstairs as a kid too." Okay. Stu says, "Don't feel bad, Mark. When I stream these days, I get 5 to 6 loyal viewers, and everyone else ignores it. I gotta join your streams more too. I don't know. I feel bad, but I don't know. Half the time it's too late for me. I usually go to bed early these days, except when I stream. In fact. Anyway, the lemmings set off, marching towards the stairs. Man, they only get a short way before they come to a small landing where the stairs turn a corner. If there is a stomper in the party, hey, is there a stomper in the bus? You want to use it, here go to 55. Otherwise, the lemmings had better just follow the stairs. Okay, I guess I want the stomper. What does a stomper do? Ryan says Stu needs to play Eraser for PC. What is that? A crappy full motion video game or something? 179 says Ryan. Really? I don't know. I feel like it's asking me that if I have a stomper, like it's something special. That's probably what I want to do, right? What does the stomper do on the stairs, though? They walk up it very emphatically. Stomp, stomp, stomp. I'm gonna go with the stomper anyway. I'm disregarding Ryan's advice. 55. Okay. The stairs, man. The stomper immediately starts jumping up and down in the way that only a stomper can. Oh, a hole. Maybe Ryan was right. A hole soon appears and the lemmings dive through it. Go to 288. Okay. I think I'm about to lose some people. Some lemmings. They're not people. I shouldn't feel bad for them. They're only lemmings. They look like people. They're cartoonish people with green hair. The lemmings find themselves on a flat platform. Hey, they're not dead yet. To the left, a huge iron wall looms up into the clouds. You can't go that way. To the right, there is a large hill. Okay, I guess I'm going to the large hill, which is right in the next paragraph, 289. That's convenient. The hill is rather odd. There are huge arrows all over it, and they seem to be pointing towards the lemmings. Oh, I remember that from the game. It means you can't... Yeah, okay. I remember that. That's kind of funny that my knowledge of the video game might pay off here. So the way that works is in the video game, I can draw a lovely picture here. If you have a, here's the floor, and you got your little lemmings walking along. And if there's a big like wall like this, and it has arrows pointing this way, you get the idea. That means you can't have a basher punch through it this way to dig. They can only dig through from this way. So that means I probably have to climb over it and fall and punch through it that way. Something like that. Anyway, the hill is rather odd. There are huge arrows all over it, and they seem to be pointing towards the lemmings. What should they do now? Should they try to bash their way through? There must be a basher in the party to do this, which is, I think, actually the guy who punches through it is a basher. So I think I would fail if I tried it right there. If you want them to do this, go to 352. Alternatively, you can try to send a climber up. That's the way to do it. Climber up the hill and look around. 46. Now I do have a climber because I have everything. Cool. That's kind of cool that knowledge of the video game paid off here. Your adventure ends here. No, that's not me. That's somebody dying horribly. The platform continues for a short distance before its path is blocked by... Go to 11. Uh-oh. This looks dangerous. Its path is blocked by a flame-throwing thing. A huge rusty boiler blocks the entire platform and belches out great plumes of flame and steam. The whole thing is balanced on a pillar several meters off the ground. Take it from us, there's no way the lemmings are going to get over this obstacle. So what are they going to do? Going through or under the pillar looks possible. What type of lemming will you choose? Excuse me, a basher, go to 135. A miner, go to 73. An exploder, go to 225, or a blocker, go to 101. I think a miner is the way to go. Again, going back to the video game, so drawing this thing again, it said there was this flamethrower thing. Whatever, it's like over here, I guess, let's imagine. But if you use a miner, a lemming can dig diagonally. I forget if the arrows would interfere with that. I don't think so. But they would dig down like that. So I think that might be the way to go. I find this really cool that it's describing like the stuff in the original game. And yeah. You can like imagine what the scenario would look like in the original game. And Stu says, isn't your son also a miner? Yeah, he is a minor. Now an exploder, for all I know, it might let you like destroy the fiery thing by having a doing like a suicide bomb kind of a thing. But I think I'm gonna go with my instinct of miner. Miner 2049er. $73. The miner steps up to the pillar and starts to hack away at it with a pickaxe. Oh, he's actually attacking the pillar with the... Wait, was the flamethrower on a pillar, or is it the thing I'm standing on? I don't know, whatever. In any case, it says, after several minutes, there's not so much as a scratch on it. Oh, looks like the lemmings are going to have to try something different. Go back to 11. Oh, well. No harm, no foul, though, it seems like. So it's the same paragraph, but I can make a different option. So we have basher. Let me read this again. Trying to understand what it means by the pillar. flamethrowing thing. A huge rusty boiler blocks the entire platform and belches out great. The whole thing is balanced on a pillar. Oh yeah, so it's like, okay, so it's like what I was drawing, except the whole thing is on a pillar. So it's like, let's cross that out. Pretend it's not there. Something like this. This is our pillar, and then the flamethrower thingy is there. Okay, but I could not do the mining. I might be able to use the basher to just punch through the pillar. But I'm not sure how this flamethrowing action works. Would it blast me down here, like at an angle? This is the worst drawing ever. But hopefully I'm getting the point across of what I'm thinking. Anyway. What do you guys think? Basher to punch, I guess, to punch through the pillar. An exploder, I guess, would walk up to it and explode it. Or a blocker. What's a blocker going to do? I don't think a blocker would help here. Ryan says basher. Yeah, that seems like a reasonable choice. All right, let's try the basher. 135. Yeah, if you really look deep into the world of game books, and you can check gamebooks.org again. So many, it's insane. You could spend your whole life playing game books. Not even just like the big ones like Lone Wolf and Fighting Fantasy. You could play hundreds or beyond hundreds, thousands of weird, obscure things. Hold on, did I say 135? That would be the next page then. Here we go. It looks like the bashers do not punch in this one. They have clubs. But it says the basher steps up and takes a mighty swing at the pillar. Clang! The basher's club bounces off, sending the poor basher several meters through the air to land with a thud on the platform. And we're back to 11 again. Huh? Some of my wife's friends sound like such cholas, says Ryan. Oh. You're talking about your wife friends on the stream. Can they hear me talking right now? Okay, so yeah, we have another choice without penalty, though. It's really being, it's so far it seems like this game is being really gentle with me, the player. I mean, that could change in an instant. I don't know, but I already read what you said, Ryan. Sorry. Hope I didn't get you in trouble. You can't expect me not to read what you say, though. Anyway, I guess we're down to exploder or blocker, which is weird. The only reason I would use a blocker in the real game would be to, again, this is horrible, but it would be so that I could pin the lemming to a certain location, and then I could use an exploder on it. If you just use exploder in Lemmings, the video game, there's like a timer, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 over his head. It'll keep walking, so it's difficult to place it exactly where you want because it'll keep walking for 5 seconds. But you could make it a blocker first and then explode it. The blocker would pin it in one location. So maybe I should actually go with blocker. And Stu says go with a banger. Is that an exploder, a banger? Or is that like a sausage? Bangers and what are they eating in Britain? They have like bangers and beans or something. All right. Is your suggestion an exploder then, Stu, when you say a banger? Any other thoughts in the peanut gallery? Bangers and bus? Oh. Oh, Ryan. All right, I'm gonna go with blogger because my instinct is if it was a real game, I could get him right where I want to with this blocker, and then I could make him explode. But I don't know if it's gonna work like that, but we'll see. 101. The blocker stands right next to the pillar, and there it stays just as you would expect. Ah, look at this. What now? If you fancy using an exploder, turn to 29. If you prefer to try something else, go to 11. Actually, let me see what. Yeah, look at that. If you I just wanted to check if if this use of the exploder is the same paragraph as on paragraph 11, it's not. So basically using a blocker and then an exploder is not the same thing as using an exploder from the get-go. And that is consistent with what I know about the video game, my personal Lemmings theory. Yeah, 29. The blocker turns into an exploder. Since it is already a blocker, it stands stock still at the base of the pillar. Yeah, if you used it without that, it would wander around and explode in the wrong place. Go to 190. Cool. When the dust has cleared, there's a hole in the pillar. Yippee! The Lemmings march through. Remember to remove a blocker and an exploder from the party. Why do I lose two? Isn't it just one guy I made into... well, that's how it works, I guess. Remember to remove a blocker and an exploder from the party. Still, it's what they would have wanted. Go to 45. Okay, so we're down to 5 blockers, 6 exploders. Finally, a casualty. Where the hell were we? 45. What? Oh. I thought it was an insta-death paragraph. That's only the case if I don't have a minor, it seems. It says you are in a huge expanse of rough ground, hemmed in on all sides by iron walls. The Lemmings could always go back the way they've just come. No, not really. This looks like a job for a miner. If you haven't got any, then your adventure ends here. But we do have miners, so 275. But, you know, game books in general are known for BS paragraphs like that. Where it's like, well, you just fought your way through these 5 monsters, but the only thing that happens now is game over. So I was kind of expecting one of those. I was going to, like, toss the book out the window, but, yeah, it's only if you don't have miners. Which way will the miners dig? Just saying down is not acceptable. If you reply straight down, go to 153. If you... slightly over to the left, go to 243. A little bit to the right, 230. I'm trying to remember if it described anything in this situation I'm in, according to left or right. I don't think it really did. I think probably not straight down, though. Because when you do that in the video game, you know, you dig the straight pit, and then all the other lemmings will fall in. Eventually, the digging goes so deep that they fall to their death. So Ryan suggests slightly to the right, 230. Yeah, I'll run with that. Here's a picture. That's not where I'm at, I don't think, but trying to go over like a river using a rope, and there's ninjas on either side. I guess the rope guys are the ninja looking people. Okay, 230 we said. The rock is nice and soft, and soon the miner has constructed quite a deep tunnel. Which way now? Will you carry on in the same direction, go to 160, or turn a little to the left, go to 287? I feel like there's not enough context to reason a decision, but I don't know. I feel like I'm inclined to just keep going the same direction. As always, feel free to chime in the chat if you have any thoughts on that. 160 says Ryan. Yeah, okay. Oh, that was the no, never mind. I was gonna say something that made no sense. Let's go to 160. The tunnel is going like a dream. Where should the tunnelers head for now? That's right here, by the way. Should they carry on the same way, turn to 14, or turn a little to the left, turn to 396? So it keeps giving me this chance to go the other way, and I can't visualize in, you know, I keep trying to refer to my experience in the video game. I can't see why we would randomly want to turn to the left, but I don't know. It almost seems like if they keep giving you the option, at some point it's the right one. Maybe it's one of those things that you try to get into the head of the author, and you really don't know what they're thinking. Like maybe they're trying to fake me out or bluff me, or I don't know. It's just a direction though, so who the hell knows? All right, I'm gonna say if nobody has any better ideas, maybe this time I'll turn a little to the left. To 396. Oh, I think I just killed a miner. Clang! The miner's pick hits iron. Steve says, you've given everything away. I know where the right choice is. What in the world could that be? Clang! The miner's pick hits iron. A large slab blocks the tunnel. There's no getting through this way. Worse than that, the miner's pick is broken and may not be used again. This lemming is not removed from the party strength, but it may not be used again until we say so. Okay, it almost seems like it would be easier to say you just lose a miner, but now I have to keep track of I didn't lose a miner, but one of my miners can't be used again until we say so. Okay, so I'll just write a -1 next to miner. Maybe that'll make sense. This leaves you with no miners. Oops, your adventure ends here. Of course, if you've got lots of them, you can go to 230 and have another go. 230, the last one I was at? Last paragraph I was at? I think it was, or was that 2 paragraphs ago? I don't know. Yeah, that was on 2 paragraphs ago. This is when Ryan suggested 160. Look where my thumb is. That's where I'm at. And I chose 160. So maybe I'll choose 160 again and then keep going right instead of going to the left after that. So let's try that. Having a doubt because why would it take me 2 paragraphs back if I don't know. Again, I'm just trying to get into the head of the author in arbitrary ways, so it's kind of pointless to do so. All right, so here we are again. Tunnel's going like a dream. And last time I went to 396, but this time I'm going to go the same way, 14. Things are going very well. But which way will the diggers go now? Shall they carry on the same way, go to 122, or turn sharply to the left? 356. Let's keep going the same way. 122. I hope I get out of this freaking tunnel soon. It's kind of getting like annoying. The tunnel must break through soon. In which direction should the tunnelers head now? Do they carry in the same direction or veer off to the left? Same direction? Keep going the same direction. 154. Am I just gonna dig to like the core of the earth at this point? The tunnel goes still deeper. Which direction do you want to go now? Do you go to the left? Or the right? It really wants me to try going left, but last time I did that, it screwed me. Well, look at that right above. My thumb is the one I'm at now, but right above that was another of those paragraphs. That's kind of funny. I'm not sure if I was at that one already. I think that might have been the first one. I bet like 100 of the 400 paragraphs in this book are all about this tunnel. Yeah, I think I try to like imagine the video game. I try to imagine what it would be like in the scenario as described. It all just comes down to arbitrary choices. It feels like. But if they went left and hit something solid, what was the solid thing? I don't know. Could it be I go under this solid thing if I dig down and right a bunch, and then I go, I don't know. I'm gonna keep going right. 213. At last, the miner breaks through and the lemmings tumble onto the cliff below. Is that good? They tumble onto the cliff below. I'll see if they die when they tumble, but I think it's good that I got through the... I finished the tunneling finally. Well, I guess it's the picture of what's happening. So let's back up a little so we can see that. Yeah, so they dug through and now they're falling. And I guess I have to use the floaters as they show this guy doing. The floater means the umbrella. But let's see what 81 tells us. From here, the lemmings can just make out a cave. Ooh, a cave. Inside is the medallion and the end of their quest. Just one obstacle remains. It's a giant dragon. Do you have the sword of Denethor to kill the dragon? Oh, just made up a fantasy sounding name. A hole in the... Wait, did I just... Shit. I think I went to the wrong thing. Okay, let me... Sorry for the... I gotta check my previous paragraph by rewinding the video. I was previously at... Let's see... 81. And that said... to go to 133. So that's correct. Okay. So that's the cave, I guess, a hole in the platform. Kind of strangely described, in my opinion. All right, so the hole in the platform is wide, but it isn't very deep. How will the lemmings get around this one? Still seems weird. Okay, so there's a cave, but I'm trying to get around it. The cave has the medallion in it. I don't know. Will they use builders or fillers? I'm almost wondering if this is the wrong paragraph somehow. Like, is there an error in the book? Oh, we'll just try it. Ryan suggests builders. Sure. Let's try that. 157. The hole is a bit wide for builders. How many builders are in the party? If there are 5 or more, go to 233. I happen to have 6 of them. Okay. So I guess that's good. Well, it took them a long time, but eventually the builders make a bridge across the hole, and the lemmings march across. Go to 284. Once across the pool. What pool? I don't know. I feel like I somehow got to the wrong paragraph. But I don't know what else to suggest I do. I mean, I rewound the video and I saw that 133 was right. It was 81. Which says there's a cave with a medallion in it. Right? That's right here. There's a cave, but just one obstacle. Okay, I guess that was the obstacle. It's this pit with a pool. They didn't describe it very well. But anyway, once across the pool, so we're gonna go with that. That was the obstacle. I guess I get it now. Once across the pool, the lemmings stand around the cave and the end of their quest. Okay. Any miners knocked out early may now be put back in the party. Woo! Go to 170. Triumphantly, the lemmings dive into the cave and collect the medallion. Yippee! Make a note of this fact and go to 20, which is the zone selection page again. All right, so we've completed the classic zone and the space zone, and we are an hour and 35 minutes into the stream. So yeah, I'm probably not going to get through all 8 of them, but I will write down that I have completed space and classic. We have 2 of the medallions that we need of the 8. Hooray! All right, now our remaining choices. Oh, we get 5 more lemmings. So I lost 2 and I was down to 53, but then I gained 5, so I'm actually at 58 lemmings. That's quite a lot. Awesome. We can go to medieval zone, shadow zone, circus zone, sports zone, classic. Sorry, we already did classic. Polar zone or beach zone. Let's see. Maybe I'll go to eeny, meeny, miny, mo, me, me. No, let me know what you think in the chat. Otherwise, I'm gonna pick medieval because it's there at the top. Do 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 do. Okay, let's go to medieval. 336. Do do do. This is the start of the medieval zone. Before you go any further, you must select the lemmings that will go on this part of the quest. How many can you have? How many you can have depends on the number of lemmings you finish the last zone with. Simply trading the lemming, yeah, same deal. All right, so our choices are jumper, musician, basher, runner, builder, miner, archer, thrower, and roper. So 58. I'm gonna follow the same strategy, but let me know in the chat if you have any ideas of which roles the remainder should be assigned to. But 58 divided by 9 is 6. So it's 50, yeah, 4 remainder. This time I'm not gonna erase all that stuff. I'll just cross them out. I'll waste paper this way. So we have jumper, musician. Wonder what a musician could be used for. Basher, runner, builder, miner. We already know miners can be useful. Archer. Help if I aim the camera correctly. Thrower. And lastly, roper. Yeah, so I'm going to go with, again, 6 of each and then assign the 4 elsewhere. Did anybody strike your fancy, Arturo, if you're still in the house? Anybody violently? Anything that sounds awesomely violent to you? Let's go with 7 in the 7. 4 of them get 7, essentially. How about 7 archer? 7 jumper, 7 runner, 7 miner, and the rest are 6. All right, brilliant. A basher, says Arturo. Okay, we'll make one of the bashers have 7. We'll change a jumper to a basher. Okay, brilliant. 334 is the next paragraph. So yeah, we're actually coming out ahead in each zone, so that's pretty cool. We're not being whittled down. We're actually building up our army of lemming soldiers who will do my every bidding in an attempt to find medallion pieces for some reason. Bear with me a moment while I screw in my Stan's arm once again. But yeah, I'm gonna try to fix it. I'm gonna make a new hole like we were talking about earlier. All right, the normally sleepy village of Lemhaven is a hive of activity. Everywhere lems are rushing this way and that. In the village square, a group of lemmings is waiting for the village herdman to arrive. The time has come for the medallion to be made whole again, and to find the medieval fragment which was buried deep in the dungeons of Castle Hollow, the long deserted palace of the old kings that lay on the far side of the forest. Getting it back is going going to be no easy thing, and the village's finest have assembled to attempt the task. Suddenly a hush falls over the lemmings, and each one snaps to attention. The herdman has arrived, a lemming of above average height and heavy build. On his head, he proudly wears a scarlet beret worn by all village leaders. That's not him, is it? For a few seconds, he gazes at the ranks of lambs, then he utters a single phrase. Let's go! But which way will the lemmings go? Towards the hills, go to 370. Towards the woods, go to 310. Hills or woods? Well, I mean, there's no point in looking at the type of guy they have because they have a strong mix of everything. And regardless, none of them seems especially good for hills or woods. I guess maybe for hills, things like miners to dig through hills or bashers to dig through them might be useful. For woods, maybe somebody who can climb, like maybe ropers. If you need to like climb up a tree, they could fire a rope, like Batman. Why can't I choose a Batman lemming for that matter? All right, I'll go with the woods, 310. Stu, are you going to be streaming from your plane? $3.10. The path leads away from the town and into the forest. It is a lovely sunny day, in fact, a perfect day for a picnic. The part of the forest near the town is well known to our lemmings. It is an ideal place for strolls and picnics. Unfortunately, the lemmings are going to have to walk a lot further than that. Sorry, let me skim this over. After about half an hour, the lemmings come to the top of a hill. Looking down, they can see a river with a small bridge crossing it. Go to 362. Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. Here's a cool extreme 90s lemming doing a cool diving board trick. 362. The bridge in the distance is the Troll Bridge. It's certainly the quickest way across the river, but then the troll may well object to so many lemmings using his bridge. What will the lemmings do? Fight the troll! Fight the troll! If you think they should use the bridge, go to 221. If they would prefer to look for some other way to cross the river, go to 315. Well, yeah, maybe we could use a roper or something like that. I think I'm going to go with another way. 315. A small path leads downstream. Mr. Roper. After a short while, the lemmings come to a part of the stream that looks shallower than usual. If the lemmings have at least 4 ropers in the party, then go to 255. Hey, let's do it. I wonder if there's a good order to choose these zones, like a Mega Man game or something. I don't see why there would be, really. The last of the lemmings struggles triumphantly out of the water and onto the far bank. Just on the other side of a hedge, they can see the path that leads towards Castle Hollow. Yippee! Go to 210. The narrow, overgrown path looks as if it hasn't been trodden for many years. Not surprisingly, for it leads through the forest. The forest looms up, dark and menacing, before the brave lemmings. The place has a faint, musty smell that causes the lemmings' noses to twitch like rabbits. Just as the path enters the first clumps of wizened oaks, it splits into 2. Which path will the lemmings follow? If they choose the right one, go to 149. If they like the look of the left one, go to 181. Right or left? Meeny, 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 meeny. Let's go right. 149. The path gets even narrower as it enters the forest. It's so dark that the lemmings have to strain their eyes to see even a few meters in front of them. This is not a nice place. After a few hundred meters, the path forks again. Which way will the lemmings go now? To the right? Go to 12 or to the left? Go to 151. Well, let's see. Right or left? It's a tough decision. Let's go left. Last time I did the best when I was digging a tunnel by just going right consistently. Or I'm not doing that this time. The lemmings march slowly along the footpath, only the regular tramp of their feet disturbing the silence of the forest. After a while, the path disappears into a tangle of trees and thorn bushes. Oh dear, which way will they go now? So is there another fork? I guess so. Will they turn left or will they go to the right? Okay, so the path disappears, but maybe there's maybe I'm just going alongside the tangle of trees and thorn bushes. 108 says Ryan. Sure, let's do it. Here's some lost lemmings in the forest. I guess it's me right now. All right. The clearing soon disappears behind them in the distance. It's so dark now that the lemmings feel as if they're underground. The trail continues for a few more meters and then opens into another clearing. The floor here is carpeted with small bushes that are covered in bright red berries that smell of, phew, something bad. Two paths leave the clearing. One goes south. Before I was dealing in left and right, and now I'm dealing in north and south, or west and south. That's kind of weird to me. But all right. I don't know. South to 397 sounds fine. Ryan says I'm going to restart my YouTube channel and just read game books and choose your own adventure books from cover to cover in page order. That would be a different channel for sure. Scratchy bushes covered in vicious looking thorns crowd in at the sides of the track. What will the lemmings do now? They can keep following the path or they can retrace their steps. Well, it sounds like they're going to get cut up if I keep going. Maybe I better retrace my steps. Or, let's see, do I have anything that can deal with that? I have jumpers, musicians, bashers, runners, builders, miners, archers, throwers, and ropers. I mean, I don't have hedge trimmers. I need hedge trimmer lemmings. Ryan says, and never remark on it. Just keep mentioning how the story doesn't make any sense. You'll have like hundreds of hours of these books. You're like, I don't understand why none of these make sense. It's got to make sense eventually, though, if I keep persisting at reading it. All right. I don't know. I guess I'll retrace my. I don't know. Let's just go forward. Let's see if it gives me some option to do something besides just get killed or scratched up. I don't think getting scratched up should actually kill any lemmings. See if the book author disagrees or not. The ground is growing, rocky, and uneven. Occasionally, there is even the odd ray of sunshine. The trees are definitely getting further and further apart. Hey, cool. Could it be that the lemmings are at last reaching the edge of the forest? Eventually, they come to a T junction. And I'm trying to wonder if I should be making a map. But again, it's like sometimes they say left, right. Sometimes they say south and west. Or only once they really said south and west, but it's still weird. Will they turn right, 375, or will they be tempted to go to the left? It's a strange way to phrase it. I don't think it means anything, though. I'll go to 40. The floor of the forest is littered with dried leaves that give a loud crack whenever a lemming stands on one. It seems as they've been in the forest forever. Without the sun, it's difficult to tell whether it's daytime still. The track slowly starts to curve around to the right, following the path. Go to 108. I really don't like any kind of wandering around, making left and right turns, and when you can't really make any sense about what's the better path to take. And generally, this gamebook doesn't have that, but right here it does, clearly. Now, the question is, was I here before? And do I have to start making a map? The clearing soon disappears behind them in the distance. It's so dark now that the lemmings feel as if they're underground. The trail continues for a few more meters and opens into another clearing. The floor is carpeted with small bushes. Yeah, we were here before. We went south last time. So I went around a circle. I'm not sure if I really need to start writing a map, but for now I'm just going to go the other way, west 113. If I can't find my way out of it, just stumbling around randomly a little bit longer, I guess I'll have to make a map. But for now, I'll stumble around randomly a little bit. The path winds through the trees, gradually making its way uphill until the lemmings find themselves at the top of a small hillock. The forest stretches out beneath them, and in all directions as far as the eye can see, and still there is not a sign of Castle Hollow to be seen. 2 tracks lead down from the hillock, one to the south and one off to the west. Which one will they follow? The one going south or the one to the west? Go west some more, I guess. Maybe the fact that it's medieval, it's like kind of hearkening to the typical fantasy game book where you have to wander around like this. Something like that. The trees tower above the lemmings, arching over the track so that it looks like an underground tunnel. There's nothing for it but to keep on walking. 211. Trudging on. Turn to 211. The path curves slowly to the left, then back to the right again. Only the crunching of the lemmings' feet breaks the deathly silence. After 5 minutes or so, the lemmings find the path blocked by a thorny thicket. This is not the same. Yeah, it's not the same thing as before when it said the path disappears into a whatever the hell, a thorn, something like that. But this is a different text. I remember. Yeah, enough left or right, says Ryan. And I would probably be more inclined to start writing a map if it wasn't mixing cardinal direction with left and right. That sounds like a nightmare to try to figure out in map. So I'm hoping I can just guess it a few more times and just be done with it. But I don't know why they would do that. Mix south and west with left. It's only been south and west every time, too. Never been north or east. All right, let's go left to 89. It's so dark that the lemmings feel they're underground. Yeah, we've heard that before. To keep their spirits up, the herdsman starts to whistle. Well, that's new, though. And soon all the lemmings are joining in. But they all stop when the path splits to the left and to the right. All right, left to 91. The trees tower above the lemmings, arching over the track, so that it looks like an underground tunnel. There's nothing for it but to keep on walking. Trudging. I was here before. Trudging on, go to 211. I went around a circle, I think. Yeah, look at that. I went left. And then left again. And the 2 lefts take you back to where you started, apparently. See that? So I'm going, like, say this way, and I make a left. And then another left, and suddenly I'm back where I was. All right, so, back at 211. Why don't I make a left and then a right this time? So left is 89. And now that I'm over here, I go right to 113. I've been here too. Shit, this sucks. Okay, which way did I go here when it was south or west? I think I went west to 91. Let's try south to 40. I've been here too. And I might have to look up if there's a map for this. I don't think there is, though. Nobody would bother to map this. Oh, I've been here too, and I've made both choices before. Okay. So I'm trying to think of what I should do. Not this immediate choice, but how should I solve this? If I try to make a map, again, at one point it said I made I was going a direction and I made a left. I was going a direction and made a left, and it was where I started initially. So I feel like I can't rely on common sense. It's like winding paths or something. So it would be difficult to map. But I couldn't map them in the sense of just how each paragraph connects to another. Like just ignore geography and left and right and south, and I'll just try to connect them, and then maybe I can find my way out of this web. And Ryan said, doing anything special for Thanksgiving? Yeah, I'm actually going to be in DC once again for a family, my wife's side of the family Thanksgiving. Usually my wife's family is scattered all over the place in the U.S. Pretty much my whole family is here in Long Island. So typically we stay here, and my wife doesn't see her family on Thanksgiving. So this time, she gets to see her family, and I'll come along with. Choose your own adventure logic, says Eric. Yeah. All right, so let's start to draw this, unfortunately. I got to get myself out of this mess. So what I'm going to do is just draw, it's not even going to be interesting to look at, so I'll show you later. But for now, I'm just going to draw 108 connects to 113 and 397. And let's try to find our way out of this mess. 397. Should draw arrows too, because I don't think you can reverse. Yeah, this way I'll know which way. All right, 397 we'll go to. I know I've tried both of these before. How about you, Ryan? And also Eric. Ryan says, I'm going to my brother-in-law's ex-wife's brother's house. This should be... What? Interesting. Okay. I don't understand the relationship there, but I guess they're still on good terms and everything, despite there being exes involved and things like that. All right, scratchy bushes and all that. Okay. And at that point, I had the chance to sally forth or backtrack. Last time I didn't backtrack, so let me try backtracking. 248. The path soon opens into... This is a new area for me, actually. I think the path soon opens into a... I wasn't drawing the last few paragraphs because I'm a dumbass. Hold on. 397 took me to... Sorry, this is going to be a little bit not fun to watch while I figure this out. I backtracked to 248, which was actually not backtracking because I was at 108 originally. So it's kind of weird. 248. And from 248, I could go to 89 or 108. So this is what it looks like. Oh, look at that, 108. So that's actually back to where it says go southeast to 108. That's actually back to this area when I first started drawing the map. Zach says cousins twice separated. Oh boy. So I actually have to redraw that bit right there. The 108 is just 108 just taking me back to where I was. Yeah, this is the worst zone so far. All right, so I'm gonna go to 89. Okay, so now this is the paragraph where it said the herdsman starts to whistle and all that. So I can go left to 91 or right to 113. Let me set this up while I draw things on my piece of paper. All right, so I am at 89 and I can go to 91 or 113. 113 I've been to before. Or it was connected to 108 at least. I think I've been there. 91 I have not been to since I started drawing, so maybe I'll just go there. 91's right here. The trees tower above the lemmings, etc., etc. So it looks like an underground tunnel. Trudging on, go to 211. Yeah, back there again. 211. Blah, blah, blah. Right or left. Okay. Again, just drawing here. 211 can go to 248 or 89. I'll show you this thing. 89 I've been to. Bad line. 248 I also been to. Okay. I'm just gonna start jumping to these paragraphs. 113. Did I actually go to 113? When I started here, I went there, then there. I don't know if I went to one. I should actually check them off when I actually go to them, I guess. I'm gonna cheat a little and just gonna go to the ones that I'm not sure if I've been to, or like they haven't mapped out. Gotta be a way out of this. Okay. 113. Yeah, we've been here before. But 113 can be connected to 40 or 91. If you go back here, 91 we've already been to. Sorry about it. Decided to make it very dark for some reason. 119, sorry, 91. 113 goes to 91 or 40, which I don't have on the map, so I'm going to go there. Jeez. All right, this is about the floor of the forest is littered with dried leaves and all that crap. It's, of course, it's dark again, and that goes to 108, which, oh my goodness. 108 is the one where I started drawing the map at. And there's no choice here, you just go there. So, I've been to all of these, I think. And there's no other. I'm like stuck in a freaking loop. I should have checked off each one, but like as I go to them just to be sure. Well, any of these circles where I drew another arrow means I actually visited that paragraph, which is all of them, right? Like for example, if I was at 108 and it had an option to go to 14, I'm making this up, then if I didn't go to 14 yet already, then there wouldn't be an arrow coming out of it. But it looks like they all have an arrow coming out of it. So in other words, I've visited every freaking thing here and there's no way out. Gotta be missing something here. Or the game's freaking broken. Ryan says your map looks like a crazy person's yarn board. Okay, well the game's broken. I don't know. It sucks. 108. I'm just gonna have to verify it. 108 can go to 397, which I've been to, or 113, which I've also been to. I'm just gonna verify each of these paragraphs. I didn't forget to write an option. 113 has. Here, I might as well put this up so you can see something. I'm just holding the book to flip through it fast, but you can look at this while I do so. All right, so right now I'm on 113, which connects to 40 and 91. If I go to 40, it goes to 108, no other options. Jeez, this is stupid. 108. You can go to 397 or 113. 397 takes you. Oh, okay. This is where I made the error. I didn't make an error. I didn't write one option at 397, which I let me show you what I'm talking. I did this before I started mapping. It was when the scratchy bushes come, and then you can either backtrack or not. So the right way to go must be to keep following the path and then make a different option than I made originally before I started mapping. All right, so it's 293. This is crazy. Okay, this is where it said this. The ground is growing rocky and uneven. Occasionally there is even the odd ray of sunshine. The trees are definitely getting farther and farther apart. Could it be that the lemmings are at last reaching the edge of the forest? Eventually they come to a T-junction. Will they go to 375 or 40? I don't remember what I did before. But 40 I've already been to. And 375, at least on the map, I mean. So 40 is not where I want to go. But let's write that it connects to there. Probably where I went to last time, I guess. And let's write down the other option, which is 375. Let's just confirm that's not already on the map. It is confirmed. So this is a new place, I think. 375. Boy, what an annoying maze. Yes, this is new. Okay. The trees are much thinner here. The air smells fresher too. In the distance, the lemmings can even hear a bird singing. Now go to 390. Should I stop drawing? I feel like I'm good for now. If the book surprises me with a final FU, I guess I can revert to drawing in the map. At last, the lemmings find themselves out in the open, and not a moment too soon, they all breathe a sigh of relief. 387. Cool. The valley lies on the far side of a small hill. The castle here was once the palace of the king, but it has long since been abandoned. Some even say it is haunted. Cool. One thing's for sure, getting down in the dungeon and capturing the medallion is not going to be easy. The ruins of the castle gradually come into view, its crumbling walls towering into the sky. This really is going to be a challenge, okay? I don't think it's going to be a challenge. I think just getting lost in that forest was a challenge. 152. All right, let's start using the stand again. Ye old stand. Here's our old castle on the left, I guess. That's pretty good art. 152. God, I'm so glad I'm out of that damn forest. Who's with me? Okay. Yeah. The castle is guarded by a wide moat. It's a dirty brown color and smells awful. Doesn't anybody clean this moat? The path leading towards the castle ends at a drawbridge. Looks like the moat has seen it has seen better days. The whole thing looks very rickety, with holes here and there where the wood has rotted away. How will the lemmings cross the moat? They could use a drawbridge, go to 264, or they could try to get across some other way. So, I guess the drawbridge is down, is what they're saying. And then the picture seems to check out, but it's not going to go well, probably. If we try to walk across this rickety drawbridge, maybe it does work. I don't know. But I feel like probably another way is fine, or the way to do it. What would it be though? Ropers again? Could be a builder. We can build over it. Yeah, let's do that. Another way, 239. This is what lemmings are for, building over dangerous structures and pits and things like that. If there are 5 or more builders in the party, there sure are. There are 6 builders. This presents no problems. Go to 185. Woohoo! $185. The lemmings now find themselves in the courtyard of the castle. All around stand or lie the rotting remains of a once magnificent building. Here and there are large piles of rubble on the double, and the whole place looks decidedly dangerous. A great place for lemmings to hang out in, as a matter of fact. The herdman looks around for a few moments, then he points toward a large pile of rubble in the far corner. Let's go! Let's go! How will the lemmings get through the rubble? You can use a miner, 226, or a basher, 296, or another lemming, 360. Remember that you must have a suitable lemming in the party before you can choose that option. If, for example, you don't have any miners, you cannot choose a miner option. Why does it say that randomly? Okay, whatever. It almost seems like, because this is, yeah, I'm starting to think in ways that are pointless. But I think it's because this is the first location. Maybe the authors wrote this first and they thought it would be worth having this reminder in it. But then it's like you can't repeat that every single time. Anyway, so the large pile of rubble, not rubber. I don't know. It seems like a basher might be the way to go. 296. Because a miner has to dig down. Well, not necessarily in a book. I think probably basher's it. Unless it's another kabong, they hit a wall. 3, 2, 1, kabong. The basher looks at the rubble, then he produces a large club, huge club, and takes a mighty swing at the rubble. Rock chips fly everywhere, and soon the lemming is hidden in a great cloud of dust. Go to 2. Dope. I killed the basher. There was probably a better method than letting the basher loose. Not known for his subtlety, the basher carries on bashing everything in sight. In the confusion, 2 of the lemmings are knocked senseless, yowl, or remove them from the party. The other, meanwhile, are covered from head to foot in rock dust. What fun! Go to 345. All right, so I lose 2 guys. That means I have 56 total. Because the basher swung his huge club at them, and I have to kill 2 of them. I guess the basher should deserve to die as one of them. Maybe he bashes another basher. And who else? I will kill a runner. All right, 345. Yeah, I haven't used my musician yet. Maybe I should have killed him. I wonder if that'll be useful somehow. Maybe there's a dragon in the castle who needs a bard to play him the magic song or something. I don't know. Some ridiculous fantasy kind of thing like that. At last, the lemmings pick their way through the rubble and find themselves in a large cavern. Let's go! The herdman exclaims and points to the far wall. Hanging on the wall is an odd-shaped golden plate. It's part of the medallion. Unfortunately, there's a small fly in the ointment. Here's the dragon. Sitting immediately in front of the medallion is a very large dragon. Dude, did I call this or what? The lemmings are going to have to deal with the dragon before they get to the medallion. If there's a musician in the party, go to 17. Without a musician, the lemmings will have to attack the dragon. Oh dear, go to 366. Man, I called out. I was like, yeah, maybe use a musician, to find a dragon, you have to sing a song. That's weird. I didn't peek ahead. And Ryan says, Ace of Spades. Lemmy is playing Ace of Spades now. If you like to gamble, I tell you I'm your man. You win some, you lose some, it's all the same to me. All right, 17. And now you've got a lemming. I bet this is the only live stream of a lemming game book in which the host did a Lemmy impersonation. This might be the only stream of a Lemmings game book, period. Forget about the Lemmy impersonation. The musician pulls out his lute. That's an old-fashioned guitar-shaped sort of thing to you and me. And starts to play awfully. What a racket. What? Oh, that's good. The playing badly was good. In 3 seconds flat, the dragon can stand it no longer and is out of the cavern, with both front paws clasped firmly over its ears. Nice one, Lemmings. Turn to 306. I thought I was going to say I played badly and I have to fight him anyway, and it's going to be like, oh, what's the point of that? So the musician was useful after all. Perhaps I got too many, though. I don't know. Well, that's the end of the scenario. The medieval lemmings have succeeded. Their part of the Great Medallion has been found. Make a note of this joyous fact. Now go to 20 and continue the quest. All right, that's 3 down. That's right, medieval. So, yeah, you know, I would love to play through it all, but unfortunately, it's currently 11:32. I think I can probably squeeze in one more. Let's say we'll do half the zones then. Honestly, so far, they seem like total cake. Again, you know, always got to be hesitant to say that because any game will screw you when you call it too easy. But I get another 5 lemmings, so I'm actually up to 61, which is 11 more than I started the game with. And yeah, let's just, I guess we'll do one more zone. I mean, unless somehow it completes in like 5 minutes or 10 minutes even, then maybe I'll do another after that. But and Ryan said it had not impressed me, but it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. I'm having fun. I didn't like the wandering through the forest. In a sense, though, actually making the map and solving it that way was a little bit satisfying. But yeah, I mean, difficulty-wise, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I didn't really make any hugely smart decisions. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too smart for my own good. I take it for granted. No, it's like I'm just saying, well, I got 50 guys, let's divide it evenly, and then I always have what I need, it seems like. It seems like you never need a huge amount of anything. So it's like, you know, say in any game where you have like 10 points, maybe you put them into stats like strength and dexterity and stuff. Usually if you put them too evenly, like you're lacking in some way, because it's good to be strong in some area often. But in this game, it doesn't seem like it's ever really necessary to be extremely strong in one area. I don't know. And Eric suggests Shadow Zone, and Ryan suggests Circus Zone. I did both of your suggestions before, right? So, what does Arturo suggest, or anybody else? I will let anybody else make that call. Arturo says Space. Oh, I already did Space Zone. You must have missed it, Arturo. So pick another one, please. Yeah, that's where we had Captain James T. Lemming or whatever. Circus, it is. Okay, Arturo and Ryan both call Circus Zone. So we'll go to 376. I've got to kill some evil clown in the Circus Zone. It's funny that there is the option to actually fight. I wonder how that works. Probably just like roll a die. And I don't know. Oops. Mexico Zone. No, we don't have Mexico Zone. This game is racist. All right. Welcome to the Circus Zone. This is where the circus lemmings live. These little guys just love all the thrills and spills of the big top. Though to be honest, it's more spills than thrills. This is the start of the Circus Zone. Before you go any further, you must select the lemmings, etc., etc. Same old story. Let's look at the options. All right, once again, there are 9 options, and I'm scribbling all over my paper, so I need to write somewhere else which ones I'm choosing. 61. 61 means 6, remainder 7, right? Yeah. So 6 and everything, but well, really it's more like 7 and everything, but 2 of them will have 6. Okay, so let me start writing them down. Jumper. Attractor. Still don't know what an attractor is. Icarus wings. That's funny because we were just playing Toe Jam and Earl recently, where one of the best items is called Icarus wings. That was fun to play recently, by the way. Did I do that last? When did I do that? Not. I guess it was last week. Glue pourer. Never had a glue pourer before. Somebody who pours glue, huh? Decker. Fencer. Super Lem. All right, so I'm assigning 7. So if I did my math right, they all have 7 except 2 are 6. 7. Fencers can be one of the 6s. Stacker. Digger can be the other 6. I don't know. We're just going with that. All right. So that should add up to 61, did I say? 61. Let's do the math. I can't do math. Counting by 7s is hard somehow. Let's see. We got 13, 20, 27, 33, 40, 47, 54, 61. We can math. All right. Okay, go to 42, it says, which is the answer to the life, the universe, and everything, 42. The circus lemmings. By the way, I'm complaining, not really complaining, but just pointing out that it doesn't really seem to be a challenge. But it's interesting that most game books are way too much of a challenge. And it seems to be hard to get it quite right. Another game book I played that was really easy was the Beowulf one. For the most part, it wasn't difficult. Although I did have to cheat at the end. I died. And rather than restart, I just gave myself a continue. Anyway, just kind of interesting that it seems like it's very difficult to get a good challenge without it being too easy or too hard. The circus lemmings start their quest just outside the big top. This is the biggest circus tent in the whole zone, and also the most dangerous. Inside the big top lurk all kinds of dangers for an unwary lemming, and unfortunately there's no way of getting this part of the medallion without spending quite some time inside. Turn to 132. The first obstacle the lemmings need to negotiate is a circus ring full of tumbling clowns. Okay. What will the lemmings do? They could always try to walk across a tightrope that is suspended above the clowns. Be warned, it's a long way off the ground. But I have floaters, right? No, they didn't give me floaters. I have Icarus wings. The first obstacle is thieving Carney, says Ryan. Having inspected them, though, the clowns actually look quite friendly. The lemmings could always try just walking straight among them. If this is your preference, go to 92. It's interesting. I don't have an option of like use one of my special, abilities. It's walk on the tightrope or walk straight among the clowns. What does that mean exactly? Like just just I guess they're all along the yeah, the clouds are at the bottom. I got it. Okay, so the tightrope is above them. So the idea is, do I want to just walk on the bottom among them, or just try to walk on the tightrope above them? And it says they seem friendly, so maybe I could just walk among them. And Eric says the second obstacles are the animal rights activists. Thieving carnies and the animal rights activists. Thanks for the 3 likes, people. Woohoo, 3 likes. That means they probably actually have 4, because it always lies to me by 1. Well, I think the tightrope sounds more fun. Let's do that. And also, it's only paragraph 130. It's only 2 away, so that's easier to flip to. Oh well, what does an odd risk or 2 matter to a circus lemming? Up they climb one after another, then start to edge out across the swaying rope. Go to 313. Ryan said, nice try, Raymond, but I see Mark's real light. Real likes. Did I say 313? Shoot. I've got to do a quick rewind. I got distracted. Let's see. A quick rewind. 130, which take me to... Now it's hanging on me. 30, which said 313. Yeah, I'm in the right place. Cool. All right. Sorry about that. Roll 1 dice. If the result is 3 or more, go to 104. If 2 or less, 333. Okay, probably 3 or more is good. Let's roll them. Here's my nice picture. And I failed, apparently, assuming that is a fail. I think it probably is. That might be my first bad outcome so far. No, not really. I had a couple of bad outcomes. First bad roll, though. All my other rolls were success. On balance, or perhaps the lack of it, trying to get across on the tightrope wasn't such a good idea. 2 poor lemmings tumble to the ground in the crossing and land with a mighty thump. All they'll be doing for the rest of the adventure is looking at the shooting star spinning around their heads. Remove 2 lemmings of your choice from the party and then go to 281. All right, so I have 59 total instead of 61. And I guess I'll kill 2 of the 7s. We'll kill a stacker and a glue pourer. Who needs a glue pourer unless we need a lot of paste eating? I eat paste. And Eric says those look just like lemmings. What? Sorry, I don't know what you mean. Like what, this guy? Are lemmings supposed to look like Harpo Morse? 181. 281, all right. So I lost 2 guys. Now I guess I'm past it now. I guess it was just about, do I pass it with casualties or not? And the answer is yes, there were casualties. Oh, in my drawing. The little guys, yeah. I should have drawn like little poofy hair, maybe. And gotten some green colored pencil just to be extra fancy. All right, now that the lemmings are past the ring, they can see another challenge to overcome. Their path leads straight towards the area where the lions are kept. Uh-oh. They're walking right to the lions. They have a choice now. They can either try to build a staircase over the lion's cage, or they can try to dig a hole in the wall that blocks the only other possible route. Shall we build? I have 7 builders. Let's do it. Not sure what a stacker does compared to a builder. Like build straight up, maybe? 96 to build over. This seems like a good idea. It isn't that far to build, but if a lemming should fall, that lion down there does look awfully hungry. Go to 140. Oh man, I'm gonna lose a lemming to a lion. Gonna eat him alive. Ah! How many builders and stackers are in the party? I got a lot of them. Add them up and then roll 1 die. Add the number rolled to the total of builders and stackers. 12 or more is good, and 11 or less is bad. Well, here's the thing. I have 6 stackers, and I just took one as a casualty even. And 7 builders. So that means that even without rolling a die, the total is 13. So I automatically succeed, it sounds like. I'm going to roll the die just for fun to see how awesomely I succeed. So 13 plus 4 is a solid 17. Woo! That is definitely a 12 or more. So turn to 274. It always seems like I have way more than it expects me to have. Like, yeah. Like it seems like it was maybe it was written for, I don't know, fewer starting lemmings initially. And maybe they changed it Like, oh, let's make it a little easier and add another 20. And now it's like every roll seems to be pretty easy. And Ryan says, what's the difference between stackers and builders again? I actually don't know. Stackers are not in the original Lemmings, I don't think. But the builders make the stairs diagonally. All I can assume is stackers somehow maybe they build straight up. They're like putting bricks like in a pile in a stack. That's all I can think of, but I don't really know. All right, the stackers and builders work perfectly as a team, and in no time at all, a broad staircase is built across the lion's cage. Go to 378. What's this here? This isn't me, but this is funny. Paul Walters in the high jump, you cheat. Apparently, that's how you lose the entire game in the sports in the sports zone. If you try to cheat in a high jump by using pole vaulters, it's just game over. You lose. So I wasn't really supposed to look at that, but sometimes you can't help but catch these things. 378 is where I'm going. Remind me not to do that in the sports event, but I'm actually going to call it quits, as I mentioned, after this one. Okay, excuse me. As you can see, I am quite tired. And Eric says you're right. Stackers are in Lemmings too, and they build straight up. Okay. Lemmings 2 it is. I should try some. I should do a Lemmings stream that's not a game book. What a concept. That could be on old games on a Thursday stream. I play various Lemmings games. I mean, you can play one, like the original, for hours, but you can always just play a little bit of each. 378. Now the Lemmings are past the lion. They're within sight of their goal. Unfortunately, the medallion is perched high up in the canopy of the big top, and there's no obvious way up. Then the Lemmings spot just the thing. Go to 335. Do 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 do. 335. Over in a corner of the tent is the cannon used in the human cannibal act. This is the one I passed by before and noticed. I just noticed it on the side. And Ryan says, wouldn't that make platformers and builders similar? I guess a stacker builds straight up, but a platformer can build to the side. That's what I imagine anyway. No reason at all why it can't be used for a lemming cannonball act as well. All right, so we're going to shoot ourselves in the cannon. With a little luck, the cannon should be able to fire the lemming straight up onto the platform where the medallion is. All they have to do is get the angle right. Go to 267. On closer inspection, the lemmings discover a lever on the side of the cannon. It is labeled low, medium, high. Oh, lemmings must decide at what angle to tilt the cannon. They can do this by adjusting the lever. Make a note of the setting you choose. Oh, I have no insight into what's the best one. All right, so we got to choose low, medium, or high, and that's the angle. Did it say said it was really high up, right? Maybe I want high. I feel like I want high. So it doesn't really give you, it doesn't give you all the info, like how distant you are. I think high is the right way to go, though. And Ryan agrees high. All right, let's try that. 258. We might kill a lemming trying this, and then maybe you can retry after that, but we'll see. Now that the lemmings have decided on an angle, they must choose how far the... Oh my goodness, it's like playing Scorched Earth or something like that. You have the angle and the power. They must choose how far the cannon will shoot. They do this by adjusting a dial, which is labeled bang, boom, you sure? So 3 levels. I'm thinking not going super hard here. Maybe go boom. So bang, I guess it's low, medium, high. Bang, boom, you sure? So we'll say we're going high and boom. How about? This is funny. 312. A brave lemming has already climbed into the cannon and is waiting expectantly. Now let's see what happens next. Go to 192. Brave lemming. All right, let's set up the book here. This looks a little complicated. Okay, 192. To do this, you're going to have to do some adding up. Okay, if you chose high on the lever, you score 3 points. Medium's 2, low is 1. Now have a look at what you chose on the dial. Bang is 1. Boom is 2. You sure is 3. Add the scores together. Oh. If they come to 5 or more, yeah, mine's exactly 5. Go to 182. If they come to 4 or less, go to 60. Interesting. All right. Well, I went, yeah, I got 5. So let's see what that is. 182. Okay, boom. And 1 second. Boom, and the lemming sail through the air in a perfect arc to land on the platform high above. Yeah, we called it. Now, it would be a little more interesting, maybe, I don't know if it would be potentially frustrating, but possibly a little more interesting if there was like a just right level, like you had to get it exactly like 4 or 5, and you could accidentally overshoot it or undershoot it. But anyway, we got the right answer apparently. Yeah, to land on the platform high above, one after another, all the other lemmings follow. Go to 142. The lemmings are now standing on a small platform at the very top of the tent. Ryan says, I think this works better than the Sonic game. Like, oh yeah, definitely. That was like a hot mess. This is, and again, this isn't really challenging, but it's fun. Lemmings are now standing on a small platform at the very top of the tent. The platform with the medallion can now clearly be seen. There's just one smallish gap to get across. One smallish gap can't be hard, right? Excuse me. And Ryan says, fun stream, but awful game book, referring to Sonic, right? How are the lemmings going to do this? If you want to use a builder, go to one. I feel like I use builders all the time. Yet again, in the, then again in the video game, I find myself using builders a ton too. But if you want to, I feel like I want to try a glue pourer just for the fun of it. But yeah, there's a small gap, smallish gap. So if it's not that big, maybe I can just fill it up with glue entirely. But then, what do I do? Walk over the glue, and I don't know. I still feel like the builder is the better option, but I almost just want to try the glue pourer for the fun of it. I'm gonna do it because I like paste. I like to joke about paste eating. It's a lot of fun. So let's go for the glue pouring. 41. I eat paste. Miss Hoover, I ate all my paste. The glue pourer produces a large pot and tips out some glue. This is pretty useful stuff, this glue. And in no time, a firm but rather sticky bridge of glue stretches across to the far platform. Go to 32. It is. Well, here we are, and there's the medallion. Make a note of your success and then go to 20. Well done. All right, so that is the 4th medallion. And that was in the circus. How long did that take? I remember it was like 11:30 when I said if this takes 5 or 10 minutes, I could squeeze in one more. But maybe I could squeeze in one more regardless of it taking like, I guess it took like 20, 25 minutes. What do you think, guys? You want to see one more? One more, or shall we call it? I could probably squeeze in one more if you guys are up for it. And Ryan and Eric say, sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do one more. So we'll go for 5 out of the 8 medallions. And then I'm headed to bed. So, yeah, we can add our 5 lemmings. So now we have a total of 64. Yeah, just keep gaining each time. I mean, I was expecting it to be the case that, like, I guess I'm repeating myself, but that would actually make it challenging if you're really kind of losing them a lot. Then perhaps it even matters which order you choose. Like the ones that the zones that you're able to handle better, you do them earlier, and or or you could play like the harder zones if there was such a concept. You do first because then you would have the most lemmings if you were like really getting whittled down as you play. But I don't know. I'm just gaining every time. I like lose a couple here and there. Started at 50. After 4 zones, I got 64. All right. So the next zone decision is well, somebody called out something. I believe Eric called out what? We can go with his choice. The Shadow Zone. Let's do it. The Shadow Zone 22. Welcome to the Shadow Zone. Hold on one second. I gotta get my screwdriver out again. All right. 22. Welcome to the Shadow Zone. This is a rather odd part of the Lemming Island, which is really saying something when you think of what the rest of it is like. This place is permanently in darkness. It's sinister and really rather scary. Still, the local lemmings love it. This is the start of the Shadow Zone and the usual spiel over here, and our choices are Flamethrower, Hopper, Glue Pourer, Parachute, Climber, Fencer, Attractor, Shimmier, and Archer. Okay. So, given that I have 64, that means I can get, how do I math? I'm going to pull up a calculator because I'm being that slow with my multiplication table. Yeah, 9 times 7 is 63. That means I can get 7 in everything but 8 in 1. So let me know which guy you think should have 8 of. I will go with, I don't know. I'll let Arturo decide. He'll probably like a flamethrower guy because that's the most violent sounding one. So flamethrower, hopper, glue pourer, parachuter, climber, fencer, attractor, shimmier, and lastly, archer. Okay. So they all get 7, but one of them is 8. No comments in the chat. I will go with the flamethrower of 8. That's what Arturo would have wanted. And he wants me to use it on, on everybody entering the throne room in a war sim. Use my flamethrower on them. All right, 94 is where we're going. Do, 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 do. 94. Before they can even start this part of the quest for the medallion, the Shadow Lemmings are going to have to get through the Shadow Maze. This is a ghastly place. Go to 5. This is the start of the maze. It is well known to the lemmings. But not only does the maze manage to change itself on a regular basis, even if it didn't, the lemmings would have forgotten what they did last time anyway. It's a maze that shifts itself around. That sounds like it's going to be a pain and I'll have to map it. To make matters worse, the whole place is practically in total darkness. Uh-oh. The local lemmings are used to this, but it may make things a little tricky for you. There are 3... Oh, God. There are 3 paths for you to take, and I'm going to see if I have an extra pencil, because mine is getting a little dull. I don't have a sharpener up here. I don't want to run downstairs just to sharpen something, but I may have a spare pencil around. Here we go. Yeah, so it's a little dull too, but not as bad. All right. Shoot. Yeah, I'm gonna start drawing the map now and anticipate it to be a pain. Let's just do that. So this is paragraph 6. Sorry, 5. So I'm gonna start drawing 5 in the middle. I'm trying to fix my camera being wonky for some reason. There we go. 5 can go to 84 or 57 or 99. Okay. I'm having trouble holding the camera and drawing basic arrows and stuff at the same time. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's go to the first option, which is 84. I think there's a sequel to this too. Maybe not a sequel per se, but a second book. It's not 84. This is 84. The maze has very narrow paths, and it twists and turns in a most confusing manner. From here, you can carry on in the same direction, 178. Alternatively, you can turn sharp right, 57. Okay, I'm going to draw this out on the map. 178 or 57. I'm going to go to 57. Shadow the Hedgehog, says Ryan. 57. Very soon the lemmings come to a 3-way junction in the path. Yeah. I'm glad I'm making a map from the get-go here. Gonna save some time. All right, so leftish is 178, which was actually the other option from before. So now I know I can draw that. Connect that back. Bear to the right is 249. And down the middle is 201. Yeah, exactly. Ryan, go right and left and all that crap. Okay, I'm going to go to 201. Well, let's go to 178, actually. Just because I feel like it. I don't know. 178. Sorry, I mess with the camera sometimes. It's really getting difficult to describe this maze. It just goes on, and being so dark, it's difficult to see anything at all. Anyway, what we would like to say here is that you can now either turn fully to the right, 249, or a little bit to the right, 201. 201 was my alternate option before. 249 was another alternate option from the last paragraph. Huh. So these are the same options as before. So basically, I'll show you what I mean. I was just at 57, and 57 goes to 201, 249, or 178. 178 actually goes to 201 or 249, so that's kind of funny. Now I will draw the arrows. Let's go to 249. It says at last, a little bit of open space. That sounds promising, maybe. The pathway opens into a sort of circular clearing, and there aren't quite so many shadows here. It looks as though there are 4 ways to go now. Top left, which... Why does... What does top left mean and all that? I guess it's kind of like a... All right. Maybe imagine like an X. Whatever. Top left is 57, which I was already at. 99 is okay. 99 connects me back. Like, look, I started at 5, and 99 was one of the options where I didn't go to, but now I can connect where I currently am, 249, 299 for what that's worth. Also, 201 or 260 are options, which 201 I've already been to. No, it was an option. I haven't gone to it yet, though. And then a new option is 260. All right, so I got to connect up things. 201. 260 is a new option. And I can connect 249 to 99. Yeah, so actually, I haven't been to any of these places, even though I have repeating connections. So, I don't know. 260 sounds good, though. Ryan says, come on, right and a little right. Bad writing for a game. Yeah. I don't think mazes are interesting. Actually, the first fighting fantasy game, the Warlock of Firetop Mountain, is well known for, well, the two authors, Steve Jackson and Ian Livingston, what they did was they divided part 1 and 2 of the same book so that they could write them independently. So basically, I forget which author did which part, but let's say it was Steve did part 1, and then it was like, once you complete all the challenges he sets up, you go to part 2, written by Ian, for example. And it is known for like part 1 being really good and fun and exciting, and then part 2 is a big freaking maze like one of these. So they learned from that and improved. So, but a lot of people hate the mazy part of it. And I think it's like 10 times more complex than what we're dealing with here. All right, so turning a corner in the path, the lemmings come face to face with a big pile of rubble. Hint, hint. Which hint, hint looks like it looks as if it might burn given half a chance. I do have guys with flamethrowers. Do the lemmings want to try and get rid of the rubble? If they do, go to 299. Or will they walk back the way they came, go to 201? Which is funny because I came from 249 to this paragraph, but it says if I go back, I can go back to 201 where I came from, which I have not actually been to. All right, anyway, yeah, I'm going to flamethrower the crap out of this thing. 299. Can't give me flamethrowers and expect me not to use them. $2.99. A flamethrower will be able to get rid of the rubble easily. Unfortunately, each flamethrower can only be used once. If the flamethrower is used, you may remove the rubble and then go to 363. Okay. So I'll do that. If you decide to do this, make a note that one flamethrower is now out of fuel. All right, so I guess it's like before. I'll just write like a -1. You'd best be careful here, since there's no guarantee that the rubble won't be back again if the lemmings retrace their steps. In other words, it's a book, and it doesn't say, if you've been here before and you dealt with the rubble's no longer here. So the limitation of the book form, I guess. Anyway, yeah. So let's do it. I have to write like a -1 flamethrower, although one of them hasn't died, but I can't use one of them essentially. All right, so 363. And it's go to 116. It's a girl, it's a boy. No, just kidding. What? It is in actual fact just another bit of maze. Oh. From here, the lemmings can either go off to the left, 299, or they can carry straight on, go to 317. Oh, boy. So because it's another part of the maze, and it says that the rubber will be there again if I return, I should try not to return to there, if possible. That's okay. I'm keeping track of it in the map. I'll write that 260 had the rubble. And I can go to 299 or 317. Let's see. None of those I've seen before, so that's good. not like going backward. I think this is probably the right way to go as long as I don't make a mistake and like return back from where I was. All right. Sure. 299 sounds good. What? I think I messed something up. 116. Huh. That's weird because 299 is one of my options. That's just the okay, use the flamethrower kind of a message. I guess I won't go that way. That's weird. 317. So that was the paragraph I already went to use the flamethrower at the previous paragraph. 317. We'll go with that. That's where I chose. Now the lemmings have come to a crossroads. There's probably no point in retracing their steps. That's good. So they have a choice of going 3 ways. Straight, left, or right. That's 93, 143, or 77. And indeed, those are not paragraphs I've mapped already, so that's nice. 93. Taking some notes here. 143. And 77. All right. Onward to 93. Oh, geez. This is a different paragraph, but it says, not the same one as before, but it says the lemmings turn a corner in the path and come face to face with a big pile of rubble. More rubble, huh? Do the lemmings want to try to get rid of the rubble or go another route? Oh, guess I'll keep burning through rubble. Go to 50. I got plenty of flamethrowers, right? But it's one of those things that makes me wonder, is it possible I'm accidentally going to the same place? And I wrote down the wrong paragraph or something. Flamethrower will be able to get rid of the rubble easily, blah, blah, blah. Same kind of thing. Yeah, it's like repeating the same text, but it's a different paragraph. The numbers within this paragraph are different, 4 and 93. All right, so I'm going to remove the rubble, and I'm down another flamethrower, -2 flamethrowers. And then we go to 4. And here's what I'm drawing, by the way, on the map. We're going here now. This is only part of the shadow world. You start with this maze. Oof, nobody likes mazes. Come on. Four. Now that the rubble is out of the way, the lemmings can either carry straight on 259 or left 214. Okay. I'll go to 214. Are you freaking kidding me? More rubble. Look at this. Oh dear, all the lemmings march straight into the pool. That's about it, really. Your adventure ends here. Oh, sorry, I forgot the sound effect. Sploosh. That's not where I am, but that was just an adjacent paragraph. Lemmings turn a corner in the path and come face to face with a big pile of rubble. Good lord. What's all this rubble? Guess that's why they give you the option to take flamethrowers. Alright, I'll get rid of it again. That's 230. 389. Sorry. Getting tired here. Yeah, this will definitely be the last one. I'm like, ugh. Last zone. A flamethrower will be able to. Yep. Same text as before. It looks like different paragraph. Okay, so we're going to go to 364 and subtract one more fuel. Okay. 364. Just a choice of two paths for you to follow here. You can go straight to 302 or the path that curves around a bit to 214. 302. And these aren't repeats though, so it's interesting. It's a pretty deep maze for sure. I don't know, 302. Kind of waiting for this thing to end, hoping this ends soon. The path soon ends at a T-junction. Obviously, there's no point in going back the way they have come. Why is that obvious? Even the lemmings have figured that out for themselves. So what's it going to be? Left 322 or right 214? 214 was my other option before. So I don't know, 322 sounds good. So which way is it going to be now? Left 357 or right 160? Why? Why? And these are all new paragraphs, though, which is interesting. Just so many of these areas to explore that aren't interesting. It's interesting that it's a complex maze. It's not interesting to explore, though, in the way of like, is it fun or not? I'm just reviewing to make sure I didn't repeat one of these. No, 357 and 163 are both new. Okay, we're going to 357. Ah. Look what it says. Ah, more maze. I'm gonna send this author or these two authors an angry message. Go to 36. It almost seems like they're self-aware about how obnoxious they're being with this maze. It's almost like it's a parody or something of Warlock of Firetop Mountain or something. And yet they included it, so they could have made a parody without forcing someone to suffer through it. So I guess it's not really that. 36. Oh my god. Yeah, I gotta bring out the screwdriver again soon. After a surprisingly long walk, the lemmings come to a complex junction, it says. Yeah, I'm gonna use a screwdriver now. The lemmings are having a whale of a time, all of them totally confused and lost, and they are loving it. They and you can now turn sharp right to 178, hard left 143, turn slightly left 23, slightly right 2. Oh my goodness. Let me again check these paragraphs. 178, did I see that before? Now it's getting difficult to scan. Oh my goodness, 178 is like back towards the start. That might have been the very first one even. If you look at, no, 5 was the first one. But look, I went through like rubble a few times. I started from 5. Here was the first rubble, second rubble, third rubble, going a bunch down. Now I am at 36. If I go to 178, that's all the way back here. So that's interesting. But let's draw that. Don't want to go there probably. Other options. 143. I've got a review. Do I have 143 on the map? Yes, I do. That would take me to a place I haven't been, but that is after the first rubble, but not after the second or third. See that? So that might be bad to go to as well. Yeah, but I haven't been there, so for all I know, that's the actual exit. Sorry, 1 second. All right, so I just drew the arrow to 143. And the other options are 23. 23 and me. 23, have we seen you before? No, that's a new one. I'm running out of space on the piece of paper here. It's getting so crazy. 23. And lastly, 201. Oof, 201 is back here. That's again right at the beginning. So I'm probably not going to go there. I think the right option is 23. That's the only one that isn't setting me back. As far as I can tell. 23. Oh, can't just say, yay, you got out. Nope, no such luck. All right. Currently, still have 5 concurrent viewers. Thanks for watching with me, people. Let me guess. Who's the 5? We got Ryan, Eric, Arturo, but it doesn't always show Arturo. I figure Stu and Gamers Grotto are gone by now. But I don't really know. But if you want to say hi and you're not Eric, Ryan, or Arturo, let me know and I'll say hi back. 23. Here comes a simple. Did we say simple? T junction. It's a case of go left or right. 201 or 260. Ugh. Why do you torture me? Why am I? Oh, 201 is. Oh, look at 260 is the first rubble paragraph. Holy crap. They really try to screw you to make you like hit the rubble repeatedly and so that you run out of flamethrower fuel and then you have to do something. I don't know what. Do you give up or is there an alternate route? But the other option, 201, I don't think we've seen. And you got to wonder how many paragraphs are does this one zone, the shadow zone, have just because of this maze? There's 400 paragraphs in the whole thing. It seems like this, therefore it would be about 50 per zone because it's 8 zones. But it seems like this zone might have the lion's share of them, unless it's just this maze and then you're done. Then maybe not. Anyway, I was checking if 201 was already on the map. It is. It is. Oh no. Oh snap! This is a bad option. I think it's a bad option. I'll tell you why. I'll show you why. Honestly, though, I've never been to 201, so it could be good. So I am here at 23, and it turns out my choices are 260, which is the first rubble, or all the way back to 201, which I found many ways to go to way back at the beginning, but I've never actually gone there. So this is a conundrum. I have to decide if I want to go to well, I guess either way I'm back at the first rubble, so I have to blow my way through rubble again. So maybe I should just go to 201 because I haven't explored it. It's new to me. Oh, that sucks though. But you know what? That means probably down here. I'm at 23 now. There are some of these places that have another person who might be in the chat still is Zach. Sorry, I forgot about you, Zach. Anyway, I had other options that I didn't go to, like 214. Generally, if you don't see an arrow out of a circle, that means I didn't go there yet. So perhaps what I gotta do is go all the way back and get through all the rubble again, and then go to one of these paragraphs that don't have an arrow coming out of it because I haven't gone there. Oh, man. So I don't know. I didn't expect this one to take this long. I'm gonna give it just 5 or 10 more minutes, and then probably just call it a stream. I don't know, but I'm gonna go to 201 because I haven't been there before, and then burn through some more rubble, I guess, and use up a lot more fuel again. Okay, so 201. Lemmings come to a 3-way. Yeah. 36, 260, or 23. Huh. 23 can take me back to that last paragraph that was just at. Okay, so 23. I'm just drawing the map again. 36 or 260 are options. 36 was one of the later paragraphs too. Interesting. Now the arrows are getting crazy all over the place though. And what else was there? 260. Oh, that's the first rubble. Goodness. And yet, it's crazy. Huh. So let me show you what I'm thinking. Oh, this is bonkers. It's getting so crazy. But look at this map. I am here now. This is again one of the kind of early paragraphs, and I can go back to where I was, but that doesn't really help me a whole lot. That just takes me. The options at 23 are back to the first rubble at 260, or back to where I am now. But where I am now can also take me to 36, which is again one of these later paragraphs. But I can go here and go back to 143 and see what's there, which is past at least one rubble. It's past one rubble, so it wouldn't be too much of a horrible backtrack. And if you don't follow what I'm saying, I'm trying to basically not repeat going through rubble as much as I can. But this was a kind of garbage paragraph, it turns out. 143 I had not been to before, but now I see you can go to 36 or where I just went, or back to 260, which is the first rubble. Oh man. $143 can go to 30. I guess I have to go back to the first rubble after all. So when I do that, I guess I want to visit one of these paragraphs that I haven't been to. And again, if you see no circle coming out of it, that means I haven't been there. So I could try to go to 163 or 254 or 77 or 249. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go back to the 260 rubble. And I have to burn through it again, it says so. This is a huge pain. All right, so yeah. Okay, I'm going to burn it. 299, and I'm going to have to subtract the fuel, etc., etc. Go to 363. And that says to go to 116. Okay, so I'm going to subtract one fuel and settle at 116. Ridiculous. Why am I still up? This is worse than the forest maze for sure. All right, so subtracting one. Now I have 4 flamethrower fuel left. I've used half of my 8, but I'm now at 116, which is here. Then at least I can try one of these places I haven't been to. I could go to 317 to 77. Perhaps since it's right next to me, I'll try 299. I guess I'll try that. I feel like that's probably not the solution, though. Probably behind more rubble. Oh my god, there's more rubble there. 299. Holy crap. I'm going to run out of this. Then what do I do even? Well, 299 is more rubble. Oh, interesting. Hold on a sec. These numbers seem very familiar. 260. Oh. 260 is like 299 basically. It says to go, if you want to try to use the burn the rubble, go to 299. So, all right, I'm going to actually cheat a little bit and backtrack. And I'm going to update my map. This is so bonkers. So this one, these are like the same, one and the same, 260 and 299. So I'm just going to write 260 slash 299. Then anything pointing to 299 will just go there. And I'm going to cheat and backtrack a little bit. I did not go there. All right, so let's say I'm at Jesus Christ. $116 again. Is there even a point to flipping through all the paragraphs, or can I just follow the paths here? I'll do it just in case I'm missing something. 116. Take me to 317. Which can take me to this 77, which I haven't been to. So I will do that. I'm not expecting much success here. Oh my god, another big pile of rubble. $77 rubble. Christ. Why? Seriously, what do you do when you run out of the flamethrowers, though? You have to backtrack to. Well, it says you can go another route here, 259. Do I have that one mapped already? If not, maybe I should just try going there. Let me check. 259. No, I haven't been to 259. I guess I'll try it. So 163 or 215. Is 163 done? Oh, it is. Oh, look at that. That's bonkers. So I'll show you what I mean. Now, if you remember when I was pointing to some of these paragraphs that I haven't been to before as potential exits out of this place, one of them is 163 here. And if I burn through the rubble here, it actually takes me to 163. So that's interesting. This is so bonkers. But since I haven't gone the other way and it won't require burning through fuel, maybe I'll just try that 259. All right, in the shadow, the lemming can make out 3 paths leading from this point. So we're at 259. And that can take you to 214, 26, or back the way I came to 77. 214 or 26. I'm checking the map again. I've been to 214. That's one of the rubble places. Okay. And 26. Have I done 26? It looks like no. So I guess I'll try that. Is anybody still awake? I mean, is this terrible? Is it as terrible as I feel like it probably is for the viewers right now? At 26, it says, yeah, this is more like it. A choice of one. Go to 302. Good Lord. 302 is actually taking me to not a bad place at all, though. It is taking me to here. And now I can go to one of the places I wanted to go. I think the solution is either in 214 or 163. So let's go to 214 because it's there for starters. First, let me go to 302 because I'm getting ahead of myself. Should have been called the rubble zone here or the maze zone or some bullshit. 302. Okay, here's the 302, and I'm going to go to 214 and check that out. 214 has a big freaking pile of rubble. What a surprise. Oh, I made a duplicate. Hold on, I made an error. I think I'm gonna backtrack. So I accidentally wrote 214 twice because I didn't catch it before. 214 is one of the rubble places here. I accidentally wrote a duplicate here, but it should be drawn back to there. So let me correct that. Christ. So 264. Gonna point back to here, and 302 will point there too. And I'll erase this garbage. That's why it's important to check if you've already drawn the number that you're about to draw. Okay, it's gonna improve my erasing a little bit here. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna say I didn't do that, and I'm back at 302. Man, this is really putting a damper on the fun. Why do they do this? Why? Okay. 302. So I'm going to go to 322 and then 163, which I haven't been to. 322. Yep. 163. And I'm surprised there is rubble here, but at least it's new rubble. All right. That's not it. The shadow monster is not it. Okay. So this is taking us to 69. Let me see if we got that anywhere. Looks like no. So this is a new area. I have a feeling this is getting close to the end. There can't be that much more to this. But I am down to 3 uses of flamethrower. Can't be that much more to this. Like, how many paragraphs would they even use for this one zone? I mean, there's only 400 in the whole book. We're going to use like 50 just for the maze. And then there's more to this zone too, I would think. Choice of 1, go to 61. Just to show you, it's right there at the top, 69. Oh. 61. Oh, yes. Suddenly, there's no more maze. Yippee. Thank God. Why did they do that? So I know if I ever write my own game book, and I've thought about that before, and I actually started to make a Tunnels and Trolls game book before. I'm not going to do this. No. Why do you want to do this to your players? It's fine to have some, you know, complex geography or something, but make it interesting along the way at least. Like, there's things you encounter, and maybe there's like even clues or some rhyme or reason to which direction you go. Like, maybe, you know, say you're, I don't know, to make up a random thing, you're trying to rescue some princess, to pick a generic theme. And if it says to the left you hear a woman yelling for help, then you could at least think, oh, maybe that's the princess. Oh, but maybe it's a trap. It's some kind of evil wizard trying to trick me. But at least there's something besides a completely arbitrary choice. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm out of the woods, apparently. Out of the maze. All right, you have guided the lemmings safely out of one of the hardest mazes ever. From here, there's just a wide platform. Go to 383. Hey, Dan the Man, what's up? Dan the Man says, now you're going to dream about being lost in a maze, forever burning rubble all night long. I probably am. Oh, good Lord. All right. So 383. After a short and uneventful walk, the lemmings notice 2 small points of light in the distance. They're blinking on and off from time to time. How strange. 2 small points of light. Just now I'm verifying, did I go to the right paragraph? I think I did. Instead of on a large platform or something. I guess it's probably right. All right, we can go to the light or away from it. Let's go to the light. Go to the light. As the lemmings get closer, the points of light begin to flash a little more quickly. What can they be? It's only when the poor lemmings are almost standing next to them that they realize, oops, if this is like instant death, I'm going to throw this book out the window. But let's see. I might throw the book out the window anyway after that maze. Suddenly, the points of light turn into eyes. The lemmings have walked straight into a shadow monster. Arg! Well, it's pretty appropriate for lemmings to just mindlessly walk into something horrible. With nowhere to run to, the lemmings are going to have to fight. Either that or let the monster eat them all. There's no paragraph you can go to for this. I wanted to choose that. Let the monster eat them all. 165. All right, we got to fight a shadow monster. This is our first proper battle. And we did glance at this paragraph by accident a little bit before. 165. This is how to fight the shadow monster. Look at this stupid maze there. Oh my god, look at this. I know you can't really see it on this camera too well. You can if I make it bigger though. Like that. This is the complete maze, it seems like. Maybe not the whole complete. Yeah. Sorry. Can you believe that? A freaking Lemmings game book. This is probably worse than the maze in Warlock of Firetop Mountain, although I haven't played that in many years. I actually have a signed version of it. Maybe I should play that sometime soon. Okay. Anyway, how do we fight this thing? Add together all the flamethrowers in the party. You still have fuel. Okay, that's 3, I believe. Yeah, it's not great, but I don't see how you could do much better. Really. Anyway, next add up all the archers and bombers. Oh, that's good. Archers and bombers. So we got 3 for the flamethrowers. Archers, 7. So we're at 10. Bombers. Bombers aren't in this one. Did I write something wrong? This zone doesn't have bombers. Unless I wrote it wrong. Hold on, I'm going to check on that. I can go back to 20, which is when you select the zone. And then find the shadow zone is 22. Yeah, you can't get bombers. These are the choices in the shadow zones. There are no bombers. So if my number winds up being bad because there's no bombers, I'm going to just fudge it and come up with something. But let's see what it says. It could be there's some way you can, I really doubt this, but you could find some random bombers and, you rescue them or something and now they join your party. So there's a chance it could not be an error, but I think it probably is. Dan DeMan says, seen plenty of gamers rage quit video games, but never an adventure book thrown out the window. Yeah, sure. All right. So, what do I have? For archers and flamethrowers, I have 10. Oh, it says score a half point. Wait, hold on. A half point for the archers and bombers. Okay. And then add up all the rest and score a quarter point for each. Oh. Okay. That is the lemmings' fighting score. The monsters' fighting score is 11. Okay, so I got to review this again. All right, so even though there's no bombers, I'll just go by what it says by the book. So I have 3 points for the flamethrowers and 7 points, divided by 2 for the archers, which is 3.5. Sorry, 3.5 is what I meant to write. And then the other guys all count as a quarter each. So 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49 divided by 4, 10, 11, 12 and a quarter, right? And therefore the total is 3, 6, 18, and then the 2 halves are 19. That seems good. Even though the bomber thing seems like BS, I'm just going to roll with this because I seem to be up by 8 against the monster. And what you do is you roll 1 die, and if it's add the lemmings fighting score. If it's 11 or more, it looks like you win. So it looks like I automatically win probably. Where's my die anyway? I seem to have lost it. Well, I probably knocked it on the floor or something, but it seems like I automatically won, so I'll just go to the paragraph 175. This is crazy. He did not expect this vast army of lemmings to overrun him. Congratulations, the lemmings have beaten off the shadow monster who runs away yelping. Yep, 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 yep. Smart one, lemmings. Now go to 54. All right, lemmings win. Fatality. 54. The lemmings are now standing on another platform. There is a flight of stairs leading down. Go to 342. Alternatively, there is a large barrel over to the left. Okay, if you want the lemmings to go and have a look at the barrel, go to 37. What's it going to explode when somebody shoots it? Sure, let's go to the barrel. 37. The video game, right? Barrels explode when somebody shoots. The barrel, which is rather large, seems to have some kind of tap on the side of it. Ooh, beer. Do you want the lemmings to walk really close to the barrel or retreat and go down the stairs? I don't know. It might be a trap. Some kind of a tap on the side. What could go wrong? Let's try it. 137. Look, you really want to go close to this? The barrel does indeed have a tap on the side of it. There is also a big sign at the side of it saying C blank 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 TINIFLMA. Something flammable, inflammable. Sign of caution, inflammable. That must be a caution. Yeah, caution, inflammable. The sign is a bit. So don't blast the flamethrowers. It's a bit old, and some of the letters have fallen off. What can it mean? Do you want the lemmings to turn on the tap? That could be for solving a puzzle, but you know, I don't see any reason to open up like gasoline all over the place right now. Like maybe it turns out that could be useful for something, but it's like trying to trick you into doing it, to like letting gasoline everywhere. So I think I'm not going to do that. Let's go to 342. But it could be a viable means of like killing a boss or something. I don't know. I think I just killed the boss though. The stairs lead to a small passageway. Go to 369. I was in that maze for so long. It's almost freaking 1 o'clock now. I think I'm spending like an hour on this one zone. Now this is a bit strange. For the first time, the lemmings can see a glimmer of light. Will they walk towards the light? Or last time I walked towards the light, it wasn't good. Look, apparently up here, the lemmings all got eaten by a bear. I'm going to walk to the light again. I don't know. Maybe I'll fight another boss and kill him. The lemmings walk straight toward the light, which grows brighter and brighter. Eventually, it gets so bright that the poor lemmings are dazzled and blinded. Their eyes just aren't used to such bright light. Great. The lemmings' sight will come back, but not for a while. For now, they're going to have to stumble around blind. Oh my god. 172. The lemmings stumble along. They're not quite comfortable, but nothing bad has happened yet. Go to... Okay, I just can go to an arbitrary paragraph with no rhyme or reason behind it. Go to 348 or 31. Sure, 348. I'm blind, I guess. None of the lemmings can see yet. Each is holding onto the hand of the one in front of it so that the party can keep together. Go to 357 or 187. 187. At least the lemmings can feel their way along the wall of the passageway. Walking towards that light was a really dumb idea. Yeah, thanks. 30 or 265. 30. At last, the lemmings are getting their sight back as the effect of the dazzling light wears off. Somehow they have managed to find their way along a passage with 3 bottomless pits in it. Go to 128. So I guess we didn't fall in the bottomless pits while blind, at least. The lemmings are very near the medallion now. Yeah, then I can quit this. I kind of Part of me wants to finish the whole thing, but it's almost 1 o'clock. I got things to do tomorrow. Uh, and that was probably the worst zone to pick. I would hope none of them are worse than that. Maze. Nobody likes those mazes. The lemmings are very near the medallion now. Should be just around the next bend. Go to 223. Excuse me. Oh. Oh no, there's more rubble. Lemmings can see the medallion glinting behind the obstacle, but it's just out of reach. There's only one way to get. The only way to get is to burn away the rubble with a flamethrower. I mean, I have one. Yeah, 3 left. If you have one of these in the party and he still has fuel left, go to 27. Yeah, let's do it. The flamethrower lets rip with a blast of fire and the rubble disintegrates. Congratulations, the Shadow Lemmings have succeeded in spite of you. Oh, sorry, with your help. Make a note of this and go to 20. All right, so I won. But yeah, that's the end. 20. I get another 5 lemmings, and I didn't lose any. I lost a lot of fuel, but I didn't lose any lemmings actually. So that means I can I don't know if I'm going to continue this, but if I do, I have 69 lemmings. Insert a joke there. 69, dude. And that's that. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind finishing it next time, but not sure what I'm gonna do. So that's that. 5 of the 8 zones in Lemmings the Genesis Quest. Overall, a lot of fun, and you know, if you've watched what I've been repeatedly saying, a lot of fun, not really challenging, except the maze, which the maze wasn't even really a challenge. Well, I guess it was challenging, but not a fun challenge. So the only challenge the game provides is, having seen 5/8 of it, is an exercise in tedium, 2 exercises in tedium, one minor and 1 major. And again, I'm referring to the mazes I had to traverse, where the first one wasn't that bad. It looked like this was in the forest. This wasn't bad at all, really. Although I got lost for a while before I decided to start mapping it out, and then it wasn't too bad. Then unfortunately the shadow maze, which was, why do you do this to me? Why? How many paragraphs in that one? And some of these are 2. So something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I don't know, I lost. This is like 30 or so, let's say. So yeah, thank you for joining me, everyone. That was fun overall. If you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. And yeah, I want to do more game books on the stream. They seem to be pretty exciting in their own weird way. They're special. But next weekend, well, I could go for a couple things. Next Thursday, I am not streaming. I normally stream on Thursdays, old games on a Thursday, and Saturday is just whatever. But next Thursday and Saturday, I will not be streaming. Thursday is Thanksgiving. I will be occupied for that, and then I have my my yearly big board game party that I have the day after Black Friday, every year, that I call Evil Saturday, and so I won't be streaming because of that. But then probably the following Thursday, which I believe would be November 30th. I'm not really sure, but probably streaming. And that's all I got. So thank you to everyone who hung out tonight, such as Dan the Man and Eric Johnson and Ryan, and earlier it was Stu and Gamers Grotto. Who else we got? Anybody else? Arturo and Rob. Yeah. But that's all I got for tonight. And so probably see you November 30th, maybe December. I'm not really sure. I have another game book called Twas. I'm gonna go show it real quick that I might try to play near Christmas time. I'm gonna grab it really quick. Was I kind of want to play this. Christmas time. It is the Krampus Night Before Christmas. It's a game book by Jonathan Green, who's probably one of the more celebrated game book authors in the last say, decade or so. He wrote the Beowulf book that I streamed before. He also did several others. And yeah, this seems like it'd be fun. It has to do with Krampus. I'm not sure if you're Krampus or not. Let me check that real quick. Oh, yeah, you too, Zach. Sorry, I always forget you, Zach. It was the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Then the clock strikes 13 and you wake to hear a thud downstairs. Investigating, you discover that your home has been invaded by two red-cloaked and bearded strangers. Before you know what is happening, Krampus, the Christmas devil, has abducted Santa Claus, and it's up to you to save Saint Nick before Christmas Day dawns and the cruel birch-wielding monster usurps his position, taking his place forever. He knows if you've been good or bad, so be good for goodness sake. Was the Krampus Night Before Christmas is unlike other books. In fact, it is a portal to a magic, wintry world, and an adventure inspired by the literature and legends of Christmas. In 'Twas the Krampus Night Before Christmas, you decide which route to take, which risks to brave, and even which of the strange creatures you will meet along the way to engage in battle. But be warned, whether you succeed in your quest or meet a dire end will be down to the choices you make. Do you have what it takes to save Santa and avert a Christmas catastrophe? Yeah, I gotta play that around Christmas time. And this quote says, the modern master of the game book format. Yeah, this guy, Jonathan Green, again, I've only played, I think, that one Beowulf book, but he's generally considered a guy who gets it really right with the game books. Although, as I mentioned before, the Beowulf one was pretty easy too. But that's okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying that sometime. And that's the end of it. So thanks again, everybody. And enjoy Thanksgiving if you're here in the U.S. Eat a lot of turkey and stuff, please. If you're not in the U.S., well, you could eat a lot of turkey anyway, I guess. All right. That's all. Good night. Bye.